The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect those of the Barber's Chat Network, our great partners at H&B Media, or any of our media peers. We're just five idiots who love sports and love to talk shit. If you're offended easily, then this show isn't for you. And for those of you who aren't offended easily, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Remember, it's only entertainment.
So cool.
Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold. My agent just said we made 100 flat. Make it back and make it stack this like I'm Steven Jack. Put my rings up in the camera like I needed that. Up in the air and at the rim is where I meet them at.
So cool.
Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Scott. It is Friday, March 21st, 2025. Welcome to another edition of I'm Not Gonna Hold You. My voice is a little beat up right now. You know what I'm saying? Just coming off a cold, but I'm going to get my best Doc Rivers on today and get y'all through this show as best as I can, man. So appreciate everybody for watching. Y'all know to follow me on all social media platforms at Barber Scott. You can follow H&B Media at H&B Media TV on Twitter and H&B Media on Instagram. And of course, follow the Barber's Chair at Barber's Chair Co. on all social media platforms as well. And make sure you subscribe to our Patreon. Patreon.com/Barber's Chair Network. We've got a whole bunch of different tiers on there. We got the Summer Sessions tier, 79th and Highlights, I'm Not Gonna Hold You, and the $10 Barber's Chair Access tier. We've got the 200th episode of Summer Sessions up now, right now, on the Summer Sessions and all access tiers. Check that out, man. A lot of dope stuff on there. And if you subscribe to the $10 holla, that is the Barbershop access tier, you get 25% off on your first order at the Barber's Chair Network merchandise shop. That is the bcnetshop.com, man. Definitely got some new merch coming soon. I know I said last week, but something happened. So it's coming soon. Just be very, very patient with us. It's coming. We're just going to make sure we're trying to get y'all the best quality of shirt, man. So got a big show for y'all today. Courtney will not be joining us today, but she will be back on Monday. We got the homie Mariano joining us in hour 2. And we've got my guy, Bears beat reporter Nicholas Moreano, joining us in just about 20 minutes to talk some Bears, man. But first, going to bring my co-host in, JR Bang and Dante. You can follow Bang at JR Bang on all social media platforms. And you can follow Dante at OctoberZone on Twitter. We got Damien in the chat. He said, nigga, you sound like 96 Phil Jackson.
Scotty! Horace! Scotty!
Hey, man, I've been drinking green tea for like 72 hours.
Hey!
So we gonna do our thing, man. We gonna work through it.
Hey!
So, but how y'all niggas feeling?
I'm solid, bro. Good to be at work. You know, I don't do this often no more, but I mean, when I do, I enjoy it. So glad to be back to talk shit with you boys. How y'all feeling?
Bang, how you feeling?
No, I was making fun of Scott because you sound like Phil Jackson right now. You sound like Phil Jackson on the sideline. Tony! Defense! That's how you sound right now. I'm gonna stop messing with you before you fire me. I am splendid, my nigga. Nah, man. Things straight. Busy week of work and that thing, but the weekend is here. I think I'm gonna get drunk this weekend.
Okay. Very rarely does Bang
Shit, that
come
was-
on here and say he's doing splendid or whatever word you just used. He said
Yeah,
Dante out of
and I said-
PTO. Now Dante does Fridays. Dante has
Yeah, I do
a
Fridays.
he got a Kawhi Leonard schedule now. But yeah, man, I'm glad y'all feeling good. I mean, overall, I'm feeling good too. My voice just isn't showing it, but I just didn't want to take a day off. I'm gonna be real with you. Because sometimes, like last year, how long was I out last year when I couldn't talk at all? I think
It was like
about
2-3 weeks.
Yeah, it was about
Yeah, I'm
2-3
thinking
weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah, I didn't want to do that. I feel like I can talk enough. It's not the best, but it's not as bad as it was last year. Last year was terrible. So, we gonna get right into it, man. We gonna get into the local hour.
It is the local hour. Local hour.
Local hour, man, sponsored by the Sock Man on 87th. We going, the warm up is part of the local hour, man. If you are new to the show or you haven't watched it in a minute, it's a new segment, the warm up. Basically, we talk about anything that's not sports for the first 20-25 minutes of the show. And I think it's the perfect time for Bang to tell the Aaron Rodgers story. We put out, you said, Scott, come back, and Scott sound like Bill Cartwright. So y'all just gonna flame me in the chat today. Y'all niggas could get nothing. I could be in my room watching some TV and not recording. And then I get made. If y'all gonna heat me off fucking show. But anyway, we were talking about Aaron Rodgers on the Monday show. And of course, we're gonna be talking about that bitch ass nigga again today. And Bang said that Aaron Rodgers almost broke up his family. Now, if you listen to Summer Sessions, you know the story, but a lot of people don't know the story. We've had people hitting us up on IG and Twitter trying to figure out what the story was. So I'm gonna give Bang the floor to tell anybody.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers almost.
Well, I need you to be here with it because I got to get my dates right and stuff. So y'all, you could put me in the main one, but I need you around.
Okay,
so
cool.
When was the Randall Cobb game winner? Was that 2011?
Oh, that was 2013. You mean 4th and 8?
Yeah, 4th and 8.
2013.
Okay, that's 2013. All right. So 2013, pregnant wife, she's upstairs and that thing, and me and my pops and my brother are watching the game. So 4th and 8 happens. Randall Cobb gets the ball. Aaron Rodgers to Randall Cobb, excuse me. Aaron Rodgers to Randall Cobb for the touchdown. And the game is over, and I couldn't do nothing but laugh. Like, we gonna find a way to fuck this shit up. So I just laughed like this don't make no sense. My father looks at me. Now, my father's a huge Bears fan. And my father looks at me. Fuck you laughing for? I'm like, wait a minute. Hold on, Jack. Like, you think this shit funny? You think this shit funny? Like, what the fuck is you talking about, fam? Like, you think this shit funny? Goddamn Bears losing this shit. You know, I'm tired of this motherfucking shit. Always losing to these motherfuckers. Are you gonna sit up here and laugh? I say, Pops, I'm laughing because it's fucked up. I'm laughing because I'm pissed. No. You wanted the Bears to lose, huh? You wanted the fucking Bears to lose, huh? I'm like, all right, Jack. Now you tripping. All right, now we doing a little bit too much game over. You tripping. See, no, you don't give a fuck about the Bears. You don't give a fuck. Oh, why the fuck you even here? I'm like, all right, you tweaking. So I'm just gonna go and walk out. My father, as I'm about to walk, my father grabs my arm and turns me around. He's pissed because I am laughing about this shit, but he's not understanding I'm laughing to take the pain away. Then my little brother comes up, say, yeah, man, I don't think you really understand. Plus, I don't even think you really wanted to watch the game with us in the first place. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck is y'all talking about here? Like, be mad at Aaron Rodgers. Don't be mad at me. Next thing you know, I think my brother and my father about to jump me because I laughed about Aaron Rodgers. My pregnant wife come downstairs. She see what's going on. She's pissed. She's mad. She's cussing everybody out. Next thing I know, I'm like, look, fuck everybody right now. And I end up moving out like 2 weeks later. We end up moving out south. So Aaron Rodgers, and I moved to 80th in Vernon too, nigga. So I moved off the 9. So yeah, Aaron Rodgers almost caused a fight in my house because of 4th and 8.
So here's a question I have.
What's that?
So were you already planning to move, or was this a catalyst?
It was a catalyst. It was a catalyst. Nah, fuck that shit. It's like, you niggas, this ain't never happened before. And mind you, yeah, we're not a violent family. Like we might cuss each other out and shit like that. We're not a violent family.
Now
that
go ahead.
That 4th and 8 had my father. I've never seen my father so upset after a game. Never. That game there broke him. He was at rock bottom. Like that shit broke him.
I feel Pops. That game had me. Oh my God. I'm finna call Mike real quick and put this nigga on speaker. And so he can tell y'all, because he watched the game with me, what exactly I did. Let's see.
Yeah. That night was a bad day.
Hey, Mike, hey, nigga, hey, you are live on the show. I have a question for you.
Okay, what's going on?
Tell the people how I reacted right after 4th and 8.
I thought you didn't want to talk about that no more, but when I brought it up last week, you was like, that's old, but literally when that play happened and Chris Conte was for some reason playing his own and that touchdown happened, you sat in that chair for 2 hours. Me and Flows and your mom, dad looked at you. You didn't say a word, bro. And I just, after 2 hours, I'm like, I left out myself. Usually you'll walk me to the door. I just left, bro.
I just had to tell the people, because Bang was talking about almost broke his family up. I'm gonna call you back after the show. All right, bro. I had to let you know, nigga. I was distraught, bro.
Yeah,
I was distraught, my nigga.
I've seen my father pissed off at the games. I've never seen him as upset and emotional that day. And we didn't talk. Like, if I ask my wife, I don't think we talked for like 2 months.
Damn.
Like, and it was more my brother. Like, I want to beat my little brother ass. Like, let that nigga simmer down. And you coming with some other shit, I want to beat my little brother ass. But the last time I was about to beat my little brother ass, my father told me stop because he thought I was about to kill him because he snuffed me. And I threw that nigga to the ground. And my father was like, no, don't kill him. So, so the first time I talked to my father after that is, hey, we just want to come by and see the new place. Plus, we want to bring something over there for you. This nigga brings a 55-inch TV with him and shit. Like, hey, man, this is a gift. Like, nigga, just say you fucked up. I
ain't gonna be real. That's a good gift. You ain't gotta tell me sorry. You bring a 55-inch TV.
That nigga brought me a 55-inch TV. Was like, hey, man, this is a housewarming gift. I know it took us a while to get over here, but you know, but I've never in all of my life of watching the Bears with my father, I have never seen him as emotional. And you think I hate Aaron Rodgers? That nigga would piss on his grave if he dies before him and he finds out where it is. He hates that man. That's a white guy on his list of people that he just fuck him. I don't want to hear nothing positive about this man.
I'm with your pops on that one. Like, if I had the last bottle of water on planet Earth and this nigga needed it to survive and I was like fully hydrated, I'm drinking the hell out that water. Like that. That's how much I hate Aaron Rodgers. So I definitely 100% understand where your pops is coming from, man. I'm tired of bringing up this nigga on every show we have on this platform. But every week, he does some more whole ass shit that I got to keep bringing up. And you know how people say, oh, you just a so-and-so hater. Look me in my eye, nigga. I am officially a Drake hater. I hate this nigga. Like, I am rooting for him to fail in every way possible. Now this nigga wants to see Kendrick's contracts. Did y'all read that?
Yeah.
Now you want to see the nigga contract. Like, to me, I just can't get over the fact that we're letting somebody actually sue for a diss song. Like, I don't think we understand the gravity of this, especially when he the same nigga that started this. And that's what's annoying me more than anything. I'm at the point now where if you say you listen to Drake, I might think you a bitch ass nigga. Like, I used to do Goofy Mog of the Week, and I got to put this nigga in the Goofy Mog Hall of Fame. Like, it's that bad, bro. That
Yeah.
Hey, about you rooting for the machine. You rooting for the machine. Yeah, in this case, I am. In this case, I am. Because enough. This ain't got nothing to do with Kendrick. This is about hip-hop, and my hip-hop heart is upset right now. And then you look at it. Did y'all hear? I don't know if this is actually a reference track, but with this nigga, I can't put nothing past him. That there's a reference track that dropped from 5 a.m. in Toronto.
No.
Yesterday.
Yeah, I just heard that while I was walking to the store. If it's true, I mean, it just goes into a long line of reference tracks we've already heard. So, like somebody said, it's like a treasure chest of reference tracks out there just floating. So, I mean, one day it's gonna drop, but either way, you know, we know what it is with this guy. So, I'm with you though. It's disappointing. It's one of those situations where, like, I don't see how he comes back from this. I just don't see it. This is me personally, and I was a Drake fan for a very long time. Still, I'm a Drake fan, but it's nasty, bro. It really is. Like, the way that you start digging into people's contracts and saying, "Well, let me see this and that." Nah, bro, nah. And you know, UMG had the perfect response, in my opinion. You started this. You asked for it. The roof caved in on you, and now you're sitting here trying to, you know, save as much face as humanly possible, and it's just not working for him. So that shit is corny, but I mean, man, bro, it's tough. It goes from saying, all right, bro, just drop some new music, we'll see what you're gonna do, to now it's really like, you know, where do we go from here?
And I'm very aware that his fan base doesn't care, like, at all. Whenever he drops some new solo music, it's gonna sell, it's gonna do his thing. It's gonna do what Drake always does. But the problem I have is, at least for me, I was always a fan. I was never a super fan of Drake because there was a lot of things he did that I just didn't like. And even the Ghost Rider thing that came out 10 years ago, that's when I stopped. What's the word I'm looking for? Started like treating him as a rapper. Like, to me, he was just a performer after that. Because, and I'm not saying that he don't write anything. I do think he writes stuff. But if I hear all these different reference tracks from you, now I got to question everything you put out. Is this somebody else's or is this yours? And that, to me, I put him like a Diddy, Kanye category as far as lyrically after that. But I was still a fan. But after all of this, I can't even listen to the music the same. He got a couple joints on that Party album that I think are really good. I like the, what's it called? The Spider-Man, Superman joint. I like the Small Town Fame joint. Nokia, cool. I do think niggas is gassing Nokia because they want to have a hit really, really bad. But these are good songs that with any other artist, just because they lost a beef, don't mean I don't stop listening to their music. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy to me. But the way he's going about it, like, honestly, it's just a lawsuit for me. I don't even care about throwing subs. Do that. That's what rappers do. Do that for the rest of your life. But the lawsuit, and you're trying to change the way people view this thing, well, really, it's doing nothing but making you look bad. You know, he put out that cryptic IG post. To me, that just said to me what I took from him, he kind of regrets putting this thing out there. And I think that's the only reason that we still talk about the song. I think the song would have died months ago if he didn't put out that thing, man. And just for me personally, it's just too much. And I always knew he was soft and corny. Obviously, you know, being from Degrassi, you know, coming from Canada. But I didn't know he was a bitch ass nigga. Like, this was new information for me. And that's why it's just a lot. And I'm personally tired of it, man. So that's just really where I'm at with it. With Drake is enough, man. And Bang, I know you said it's gonna be they're gonna cash him out. Here, nigga, damn. I still think it's gonna get thrown out. I might be wrong, but at this point, I hope it does, because this is just ridiculous. When you're trying to see niggas' contracts, I'm not a legal dude. I have no idea. I highly, highly, highly doubt that the court is gonna allow that, but I could be wrong. Final thing in the warm up. I'm gonna bring our guest in a minute. Jonathan Majors, man. This is interesting. Me and Bang have been on this for a couple months. Think about what's the comeback is gonna be. So he's got this new movie coming out. Actually, it's out right now. It was $1 million. What's the name of it? $1 Million Dreams? Anybody remember the name?
Yeah, Magazine Dreams.
Magazine Dreams.
Magazine Dreams. Magazine Dreams. And he's been going on a little promo run. He had the Hollywood Reporter cover a week ago. And then that audio got released from the incident a couple of years ago. He did a couple more outlets. He did Sherry Shepherd. He did Stephen A. Smith. And then he did Summer Complex. And it's like they're asking the right questions, but he's avoiding a lot of answers, giving a lot of them, oh, I believe in God. And, I'm doing work and I'm doing this, that, and the third. And now we learned today. Oh, he's on Breakfast Club today, too. We learned that he sent a letter to Kevin Feige about thanking them for the opportunity and blah, 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 blah. And to me, I kind of look at it like this. I had a conversation with my brother about this where it's a weird situation because, yeah, he's wrong for what he did 100%. But I feel like we live in an age right now people don't want to give second chances. So I kind of want to know, like, what's your opinion on, like, the thin line between somebody, I want to say serving that time because he's not going to prison, but sitting down for a minute, learning from their mistakes, and getting a legitimate second chance, and what do you think Jonathan Majors is with that?
Go ahead, Bang.
I mean, everybody don't deserve a second chance. I'm not one of those people because it depends on what you do. The Jonathan Majors situation with old girl just seems very convoluted. Even with the quote unquote admission, he doesn't say that he actually choked her. He just says it's part of the aggression. So that could be taken many ways. I felt like when all of this happened, and I think I said it on Summer Sessions, that once he goes on his reclamation tour, he's going to admit that he's been touched. He did. He's going to look for the sympathy. He's getting it. But I also, and I'm not one of those people that be like, well, look at all these white people and how they get it. Because how people police other people is how they police them. I don't care. I really don't give a shit who you are. But something that always seemed off to me about Jonathan Majors, something has always seemed off to me about dude, especially after Creed, because I felt like he was starting to live that character. And look where we at. But I do believe in his case, like second chances are needed. And it's what he does with it. I'm one of those people that's like, yo, I look at your wife or look at your significant other and see how they react. And it seemed like Megan Good, like, really loves him. Like, Megan Good has probably lost more than she's gained in the relationship with him, and she seems to be comfortable. So, I mean, I'm not in a relationship. I'm not in that shit. He is a great actor. It's unfortunate that he's probably never going to reap the benefits of that because of this situation and stuff. I mean, or maybe it's a possibility. Go look at Robert Downey Jr. is a perfect example. But being that everything is so convoluted in this situation, I do believe he deserves a second chance to see what goes with it. But everybody does not deserve a second chance. I will say that I am a firm believer in it's situational chances here. And this is one of them that deserves it. But there's a lot of others that's like, man, yo, go kick rocks, G.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's definitely certain people. And then this one thing I kind of don't like the Robert Downey Jr. comparison is like, that motherfucker was doing crack. Like, ain't like he was, strangling people. Yeah, he was doing crack. What Max was doing crack. But Dante, any thoughts on this before we move on to our guest?
No, I mean, we know how Hollywood goes, man. I think it's gonna be a situation now, especially with the Me Too movement and everything that's everything that's come after it. Even you saw the woman who coined the phrase. She said, I didn't say believe all women. She said I said believe victims. So I mean, this is one of those situations where you have a lot of different things being said, and we don't really know what happened and what took place, and new audio dropping. now that he has a movie coming out as opposed to when the trial first happened. It's just like it's all kind of just very interesting. So I'm with Bang. I'm the same way. Everybody doesn't always deserve a second chance, but I think this is one of those situations where you'll see a guy who, you know, may have done some questionable things. He'll get that second chance. So I mean, it's just another day in Hollywood. This is nothing new. We've seen it before. So I mean, as much as we want everybody to be perfect, people aren't. And so when you happen to have an immense talent connected to a troubled person, they usually get to slide on things that regular people wouldn't get to slide on. So it sucks, but we see it all the time.
Yeah, but it was funny. He been wearing them Underground Railroad pants in all these interviews. I'm like, relax, brother. But anyway,
Hey,
we
man,
gonna
Paul
bring our
Robeson
first
line.
Paul Robeson
line.
line.
Let my people go.
we gonna bring our first guest in for the show, man. This first guest, man, he is one of the coolest guys on the Bears beat, man. He is the host of the Nicholas Moreano show. You got my guy Nicholas Moreano in the house, man, here on I'm Not Gonna Hold You. You can follow him at Nicholas Moreano on all social media platforms. Nick, man, glad to have you on, brother. How you feeling?
I'm doing well, you guys. I was laughing in the background there from your previous discussion there. No, I'm glad to be here. Yeah, should be fun.
My people go.
Yeah, this is a ridiculous television show. We have a disclaimer at the beginning, like for any of our media peers, blame me. Don't blame anybody else on this show for what is said on here, man. But
I know you can blame me. You can blame me. I'm grown. I'm a man. I'm 40. No,
I'm a man. I'm 40. But anyway, man, glad to have you on, bro, man. You've been killing it on the work, man. You killing it all the time, man, but definitely been seeing like an uptick since you're going back to the indie grind, man. Before we get into the question I have for you, just tell me what it's been like, you know what I'm saying, having your own show and, you know, really like kind of like, you know, doing your own thing fully. Of course, I know you're doing some stuff with the homies at the Bigs, but what it's been like, you know what I'm saying, like post CHGO and everything you've been doing.
Yeah, I think it's been a good opportunity for me to just kind of dive into a lot of things that maybe I wouldn't have had my full hands on from a production standpoint, but learning how to do like graphics and things like that. But like I get to host my own show, so I get to say what I want, do what I want, and do it the way I want to do things. So it has been a kind of like a blessing in disguise when you do, you know, move on, when I did move on from my previous job. So it's been cool. And it's been nice to see the engagement, like numbers have been growing, things like that, having like a professional looking intro and stuff like that I just didn't have previous to this. So it's nice to have my own brand, but yeah, continue to build that up, but it's been a lot of fun.
Definitely, man. It's been definitely dope to watch everything you've been putting out, man. It's been definitely great to see. But let's talk Bears, man. That's what we all here for. Been a busy offseason. I feel like it's been 5 years since the last game we all covered with so much stuff going on. New head coach, Ben Johnson, you know, bringing in these new players and things like that. Just tell me, like, what has your thoughts been on just the changes the Bears have made? I feel like we left the season with a lot of questions, more questions than answers coming into this offseason. But just a couple months in, it kind of feels like a new world a little bit for the Bears. Tell me, what's your thoughts on how these first couple months of 2025 has been?
Yeah, no, I think that's a perfect way to kind of encapsulate how 2024 ended. There were so many questions still about this team and what they were going to do moving forward, only having 5 wins and ending with that victory over Green Bay. But since hiring Ben Johnson, you've also seen a bunch of moves that I think reflect what he wants in his football team. You're building up the trenches. You've completely revamped the entire offensive line. You've added some edge rushers as well. Grady Jarrett on the inside. So I think you're seeing just the change in influence that Ben Johnson had in Detroit and what they were good at, and then bringing it over here to Chicago. And honestly, something that the Bears realistically needed if they wanted to be competitive in 2025. So now there are a lot more answers on this team. Look, they've made the right moves. We got to still see it play out in the regular season if those moves translate to victories, but you can't fault the Bears for how they've kind of approached this. They wanted to address the offensive line. They've done that. They've given themselves a chance to succeed going into next season for Caleb Williams by addressing left guard, center, and right guard. And then you did get some guys on the defensive line as well. And that doesn't mean that going into this upcoming draft that you can't still add to both those lines, but I do like the moves and I see why the Bears made them, and it makes everything a little bit more flexible as they kind of enter 2025 draft and what they can possibly do with their picks.
Yeah, and then when you bring up the draft too, and I think you made a good point about we got to see all this plays out. I think that's the number one thing with the Bears. Last year, there was so much hype last offseason. I remember being at camp, seeing the Hard Knocks cameras and the whole draft, everything like that. But this year, you can fully say that, okay, they've done the right moves. And even if, let's just say, worst case scenario, it doesn't pan out, you can't get mad at Ryan Poles and Kevin Warren for not doing what they're supposed to do compared to other years and things like that. So when we go into the draft, I think, trading for Joe Thuney and, Jackson and, going out there signing a center and all these other things they've done, it really makes it best player available for the Bears. They can trade up, they trade down. What do you think the Bears should aim for specifically at pick 10?
I'm still a firm believer of still upgrading those trenches, and whether that is on the offensive or defensive line. I look at it this way, you guys, when obviously the Bears have done made some good additions, both sides there. But when I look at, and I'll always compare teams right now to the Philadelphia Eagles because they're at the mountaintop. They've shown what the blueprint is for their team. They always have a plethora of guys coming in and out on the defensive line in waves. And that was something that Ryan Poles, discussed not too long ago at Hallis Hall when Dio Odengbo was being introduced. He also introduced the idea of having waves on the defensive line. So that's where I think the Bears end up going if they stay at pick 10, picking the best defensive lineman there. But I wouldn't be opposed to, like, if let's say a guy from Will Campbell, the LSU tackle, who, maybe there are some questions about arm length. Can he actually play tackle? Could he also probably play guard in the NFL? Definitely. But I'm all for trying to upgrade and still continue to upgrade those lines, even if, like, I know there's a lot of Bears fans wanting or liking the idea of Ashton Genty. And you know what? I'm open to that discussion. I just still believe that his team isn't necessarily done because of the recent additions they've made. You bought those additions. There's no homegrown talent outside maybe of Darnell Wright right now and Gervon Dexter on the line. So I just think that they could still continue to find those guys that they draft, that they can continue to develop, that can still be a part of this team moving forward, because Joe Thuney, 32 years old, Grady Jarrett's going to be 32 in April. They're not going to be here for that much longer than what they've just initially signed for. So go find some guys that can fill in later as, the years kind of progress here.
And I think, too,
go ahead.
My bad, man. And I think, too, that this free agency shows you that you got to have homegrown guys. That's probably why it wasn't the deepest free agent pool, because everybody was re-signing their guys. And I definitely think that's something that they need to do. Go ahead, man.
So what about this backup quarterback situation? Like, you got Bajent back there, or have been back there. But a lot of people, even last year, was talking about why do we not have a vet back there to help out Caleb? Is now the time to get a vet back there to help out, or you think we're good where we're at?
I wouldn't be opposed to that idea. I think anytime you can have somebody with kind of that veteran presence that's been around the NFL, just knows, one, how to understand in terms of game planning, how you're going to go about your week, and it's just gone through this experience for a number of years. I'm not opposed to that whatsoever. And for the Bears, like how they approached it last season, obviously having Tyson Bagent and Caleb Williams is a lot of almost like learning on the fly. And Caleb won as soon as he was drafted, he was basically anointed the job, which, look, I don't have an issue with that. He is a number 1 overall pick, a lot of talent, but it is good to, I think, have somebody in the room that, has gone through this more than a Tyson Bagent has. And, Tyson Bagent, I think, someone that has developed, but it's just nice to have that veteran presence. A lot of these other rooms right now for the Bears, they do have that outside of the quarterback room. And, I know there's obviously new people in place there, new coaches, and maybe that can fill the spot there, but just having an actual player in there that can share a tip or two with Caleb and even Tyson, I'm not opposed to that at all. So if the Bears were to bring in a veteran quarterback that has been through a couple of systems, I don't see anything wrong with that. That's not that you're saying that he's challenging Caleb or even Tyson at the job. Just somebody to have on the roster that, obviously has played the position and knows a thing or two about being a quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, you're right. That backup position is important. But, as we all know, everybody's here to see number 18, Caleb Williams. So with all the additions we made along the offensive line, where are your expectations for Caleb? And what do you think we should see out of our quarterback coming year two? Is it one of those things where we have to, the Bears fans, we hate hearing this, but give it time to let that new offensive line gel? Or is this something where we should see him begin to continue to take that next step that we expect him to take?
I think if you're a Bears fan, you should have high expectations for what Caleb Williams should be able to do, especially given all the additions. And I think the biggest thing you're going to see from Caleb, and hopefully as he's learning Ben Johnson's offense and learning the language and everything that comes with it, just the understanding of like the timing in the NFL. I think when you look at the 68 sacks that he took, yes, a bunch can be put on the offensive line that was previously in place last season. But there are also a lot of those sacks where you look at Caleb where what I was kind of seeing on film is like he's trying to wait for something to develop downfield when it's not there to be had in the first place, based on coverage, based on the route concepts. Like, you want to just know that if something's not there, you can take your check down. And I think with Ben Johnson, his offense, and with the line that's going to be in place, Caleb's going to get to those decisions a little bit quicker. And when he's going to get to those decisions quicker, you're ahead of the chains instead of being behind them because you took a negative play or even an incomplete pass. So I think that should be one of the biggest areas of improvement in Caleb Williams' game. And for Ben Johnson, like, this is almost a new kind of experiment for him because he's never had a quarterback quite like him who can make his own plays, extend plays. Jared Goff's a great quarterback in the pocket, but his game does not exceed the pocket. So I just think that the biggest area you're going to see is just, I think, Caleb being a quicker processor, get to those check downs, and then he can go home run hitting on some of those deeper plays. But I do have high expectations for Caleb. He does have the weapons around him, and now he has a line. And with that, I think you should see some pretty good things from number 18.
And that's why I'm excited about the moves they made in line, because last year, in the flashes that he did have time to throw the ball, he was great. And I think that's what you saw too in that Green Bay game, that winning drive. He had good protection. Now I want to talk about Ben Johnson. I think something I've noticed, and listen, I've been covering the Bears since 2021 full time, since 2022. All the camps that I've been at during the Matt Eberflus time, they haven't really been too high intense. I feel like this is something we've talked about, Nick, at camp sometime. Like, this wasn't as high intensity as we thought it should be. What's some things that you're going to be looking for from Ben Johnson's first camp? Because he said last week, like, it's not supposed to be easy. It's going to be tough. Woo, woo, woo. What is some things that you need to see from the way he conducts camp this year?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And I think just given, how Ben Johnson's been kind of talking about these things, like you said, not being easy, you want to see some physicality in these camps. Like, obviously right. They don't have as many days in the pads, or, there's certain times off that you got to take throughout camp. But I think when you hear Grady Jarrett and how he was talking about it, and he looked over at the new offensive lineman in Jonah Jackson, Joe Thuney, saying, you guys better be ready. Like, that intensity from the defense, I think it's going to be there because Grady is there, and that's going to matriculate down into the rest of the defense players. But Ben Johnson's offensive players need to be ready for that. So I want to see that physicality. I want to see these guys challenge each other. You want to see the DBs and wide receivers really go at it. And I think that's what training camp's for. You callous up and you build each other up and you make it tough. And if Ben Johnson is true to his word and how he's going to approach training camp, like the way he's approaching some of these press conferences, then that's going to make I think it's just a stronger football team, because we've seen too many times, time and time again, when the Bears go play some of these NFC North opponents, especially the Green Bay Packers, they're beaten in the trenches. I think that's a physicality thing. That's a mentality type of what you need to play that position. So I think from Ben Johnson, bring that physicality, establish that from the very beginning. And I'm sure he's doing that now, as he's kind of been acquainted with some of the players now, but that needs to be seen in this training camp. And I think if we see that could be a good indication of what could possibly come in this 2025 season.
And that's the other too, when we've seen the last couple of years that that defense likes talking during camp. Like they're really loud during camp. I'm even texting in the group chat sometimes during camp, like, hey, Jaquan and them really talking shit today. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see them bark back. You know what I'm saying? We saw a little bit of that last year from the offense, but I want to see it more, and hopefully with some new people that it'll go there. I want to talk about the wide receivers. I got a couple more for you before we get you about it. Last year, the way they used DJ Moore was very, very weird. And we talked about this. I feel like Sunday after Sunday in the press box, me, you heard my brother like, yo, they're not using him the right way. Use him like a running back a lot. We were reading body language. Is he happy? Is he not happy? Now you've got year 2 Rome. You've got 2 new receivers they brought in, some speedy guys, some gadget guys. You've got Olamide Zacchaeus, who had a pretty solid year with Washington last year. And then they just picked up from Baltimore, Devin Duvernay. And he's going to be somebody who's going to be a kick returner as well. I think the key that we see here, the smaller guys who are really fast. Something that, as good as Keenan's year was last year, he doesn't really have the speed that he once had. What do these 2 signings tell you about the way that Ben Johnson wants his wide receivers to go? And do you see this as a way to, without Keenan, to make this kind of a breakout season for Rome?
Yeah, no, I think when you're looking at those 2 additions, and Zacchaeus and Devin Duvernay, you just want field stretchers, guys that have that speed element to their game that will allow some of the plays to kind of work, underneath that. And so kind of going back to DJ really quick, one of their staple plays in Ben Johnson's offense is that deep 20-yard dig in the middle of the field. The Bears actually got burned on it because they had Jameson Williams on a deep post at Soldier Field, and that's where Jared Goff threw it. But what influenced that play was the dig route by St. Brown in the middle of the field that held the safety. Then you're able to go over the top because you have no safety help and hit Jameson Williams for an 82-yard touchdown. So I think when Ben Johnson's adding some of these speed elements now to his offense, that's what you're kind of creating, these mismatches for some of these defenders. You isolate one guy. Look, Ben Johnson's going to be able to isolate certain defenders in a defense and put them in a bind. When you get guys with speed, you have to respect it. And then when you have guys that can work over the middle like DJ Moore can, then you're possibly hitting a 20-yard play, if not the touchdown over the top. So I think that's what those 2 guys can create when they're given their opportunities on offense. But I think DJ Moore is prone to have a bounce back season as well, because even in 2023, when he was setting, career highs in yards, catches, and touchdowns, that play was a staple over the middle of the field. Let him get the yards after the catch. That's a big thing that Ben Johnson loves to do. And I could see the similarities between him and a guy like Amon-Ra St. Brown. And then for Rome Odunze, I think it's honestly a wild card for him because that's a guy that can line up in the slot. He can line up out wide. And a lot of the plays that Keenan Allen was getting, like that should go to Rome. Like he's more than capable of being a guy that can operate and be successful in the slot. He's big enough to play the X outside. And, just from talking to him in the locker room throughout the year, he wants to be used in multiple different ways. So even on some of those jet sweeps, I know he ended up fumbling a couple of them in the last matchup, I believe, against the Detroit Lions, but he does want to be utilized all over the field. So when you have a creative mind like Ben Johnson, just let loose and get creative with any way that you want to use a guy like Rome, because even though for what it was, I liked his rookie season behind 2, good wide receivers in DJ and Keenan. Now with him being the number 2, we should see, I would not be surprised if Rome gets to 1,000 receiving yards. That shouldn't be out of the question. And DJ should be right around there too. But I think Ben Johnson's finally getting the weapons he needs, and he could possibly add more in the draft that will allow him to operate this version of his offense in Chicago.
And you can tell they're very excited about it. When I got a chance to talk to Rome and DJ during Super Bowl week, they were there promoting Bounty, which was, I was like, why they got these green jackets on? And shout out to Bounty. Bounty had a really good promotion at Super Bowl week. They handed out free chicken wings to everybody at Radio Row. It's like, hey, use a paper towel type thing. But they were really excited about the way that Ben Johnson is going to be using it. So I'm definitely excited to see that. Final question for you, man. This has been something that has been talked about kind of a little bit more on Bears Twitter. This is something I've been on since the moment Ben Johnson got signed. Do you think there's a place for Cole Kmet in this offense? Because there's been a lot of questions about Cole Kmet. I think Cole Kmet is a fine tight end. I don't think he's anything to get excited about. I think he's in the words of Stringer Bell on the Wire, he's like a 40-degree day. It's cold. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing over the top, but I think he can make plays. But with the fast offense that you got with Ben Johnson, the way he uses tight ends in Detroit, do you think there's a place for him to really make a big impact? Or do you think this is going to be something that they might trade him down the line? What's your thoughts on Cole Kmet in this offense?
Yeah, so I think there's definitely a place for Cole Kmet. I will say, though, that he's not the route runner that, Ben Johnson previously had with Sam Laporta. But when you have a guy that I think is a well-rounded player, I think that's how you can describe Cole Kmet. He'll block for you. He'll obviously go out and pass, catch some passes. But for whatever reason last season, and actually there's a bunch of different reasons why last season didn't work offensively, but I think you should see a better output for Cole Kmet because I think Ben Johnson's just going to see a better vision for what his strengths are as a football player. And, when you have the size that Cole Kmet does have, like, I would like to see some of those one-on-one opportunities in the red zone. It's not like you need to be the greatest route runner to get up, just body somebody out, box them out like you're a basketball player on a smaller safeties, things like that. But I just think with Ben Johnson's creativity, and it doesn't even take that much creativity to get a guy like that open. If you have the offense flowing one way with play action because you're in 12 personnel, you have your two tight ends on the field, and you're having the defense flow one way, all it takes is that one tight end to leak out the other direction to gain a quick, however many yards. Like, it doesn't have to, like, it's creativity, but it's also some of the basic stuff that you can do in the game. And I think that Ben Johnson's going to realize that, knowing that he does have a guy like Cole Kmet that when he's thrown a pass, he's usually catching it. The problem was that he just didn't get the targets or, the targets necessary to really capitalize on that catch production. So I think there is a place, but this is entering year 3 of his new deal.
Yep.
I would have to see how much like the guarantees are after this. And, I know there's a lot of Bears fans like speculating that 10th pick with a guy like Tyler Warren from Penn State. Like, if you were to draft him, I think that kind of lets you know, at least for this season, they can complement each other. But beyond that, like, there's no guarantees. But to answer your question, there is a place for Cole Kmet in Ben Johnson's offense. As for the future, I think we got to wait and see on that. But I want to see what Ben Johnson can do in this year with Cole. And then we can kind of have that discussion down the road.
Yeah, and I think like his contract makes it real interesting, like you just said. Like, we're gonna look at what are some of the guarantees and things like that that's gonna look forward going forward, man. So, Nick, man, always great to talk to you, man. Great to have you on. Let them know where they can follow you at and everything you've got going on.
Yeah, no, appreciate you guys for having me. This was a lot of fun. You can just follow me on Twitter at Nicholas Moreano, and then doing stuff on YouTube, the Nicholas Moreano Show. So if you just type that in, I'm sure you'll find me, and also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Music. So anywhere where you can find your podcast, I'm also on there. But most of my stuff's gonna be posted on Twitter, and then if you click on there, you'll be able to find the rest of my content.
Yes, sir, bro. Always great to talk to you, man. We gonna holler at you.
All right, you guys. See ya.
Yes, sir. That is Nicholas Moreano, man. Follow him, get in tune, man. Get all your Bears news from him, man. Let's get into it, man. We're gonna talk about some before we actually get to that. I want to talk to Dante. Because Dante, we never actually got your take on what you feel about this year's free agency for the Bears. So I wanted to get your take on what you feel about the moves that they've made.
Here's the thing, it's good and bad. Like, it's good in the sense that, like, I love the fact that we did go directly into the trenches. We did go and address positions of need immediately. We got guys that were familiar with Ben Johnson. We got a guy in Thule who's a, literally potential Hall of Famer, based on his resume so far. You get Dahlman, who was the best center on the market, someone who he's not a world beater, but he's beyond serviceable. It's been top 5 at his position, for the last few years. Grady, I've been asking about Grady Jarrett for the past 2 years, somebody on that defensive tackle who is versatile and who does have, plays with that mean streak that we really haven't seen since, I would say, like Akeem Hicks, having a guy in the middle who was really there, who's just hell-bent on, tearing shit up. And that's the type of player that Grady is. Smart football player, high energy. And that's somebody who, even at this age, with the rotations being a new thing, this is a great guy to have as an anchor on that rotation. So I really love that. But just mainly the offensive line pickups were big for me. And why? The reason I said good and bad, because I think it was a further indictment on Poles and what he hasn't done for that offensive line. Because, a lot of those picks and even some of the overpays, because, we had to end up picking up Jonas extra year and things like that. Some of the, overpaying is because of the mistakes that we've made in not drafting quality offensive linemen and, missing on people, signing the wrong players. And so I think Ben coming in and pretty much saying, hey, bro, the people you got ain't good enough. Let's go here, here, and here. I appreciate the fact that Ryan Poles was humble enough to, take that on the chin, pause, and just keep going. But the reality is you brought in a lot of those players that were bad. So I understand we still want to go trenches for the 10th pick, but who's making that pick? If it's Ben Johnson, I'm a lot more confident than Ryan Poles. But I think overall, just in terms of free agency and everything we did, I really like it. I really like the moves. Even bringing in Zacchaeus as a number 3 receiver, bringing in guys that can block the punt returner we just signed, bringing more speed onto the team. So, I'm interested to see what happens at 10, bro. I think, we're at a position now where they can really, really, really do some damage, bro. I'm not going to jump ahead of myself like I did last season and predict 12 wins or anything like that. But I do think, as long as people are truly locked in and paying attention and, learning this offense, they can do a lot of good things.
Yeah, and I think too, man. Like it's kind of hard to give somebody credit for something they messed up, and that is kind of the Ryan Poles thing. It's like when a deadbeat dad decided to take care of his kids. Like, nigga, that's your job. Like, I'm not finna clap because that's something you want to do now. So I definitely understand that. We're gonna talk about some baseball here with Dante. Bang said we ain't been respecting his baseball chops. So I don't know if there's anything you want to talk about on the list I've got, but we gonna.
I'll be back.
Go ahead. Yeah,
I'll be back.
he said he'll be back. He gonna take a quick break, but want to talk about this opening series we've seen here in Tokyo between the Dodgers and the Cubs. Dodgers looking like the Dodgers already in 2 games in. Don't look like they've missed a beat. Shohei is Shohei, and this is without Mookie Betts, who didn't even make the trip because of a little illness he's got right now. But the Cubs are 0-2. Third base problem is really, really showing. We're going to do a little sports morning TV here. Should Cub fans be worried already that they're 0-2?
Yes, absolutely. Same old, same shit, different year. But no, I think more than anything, I think with the Cubs, like we said, Hood corrected me last year. They do spend, it's just a matter of spending the right amounts and what they're spending it on. And you still expecting on certain people to step up. PCA is still terrible at the plate. I know that's a guy that we're expecting a lot from this year. When I say we, I mean Cub fans are expecting a lot from him. And overall, though, I would say from the Tokyo series, I wouldn't be too concerned. That series in itself. The fact that, you're going to really have to wonder where your runs are going to come from. This is a team, you didn't want to spend the money to go get those extra bats. You bring in Kyle Tucker, and I like Kyle Tucker a lot. But who's going to be setting the stage for Kyle Tucker? You feel me? Who's going to be actually getting on base for Kyle Tucker? The third base issue is something that you looked at the last few seasons and have really tried to make it seem like it's not a big deal, but that's something that is really going to, be an issue for the Cubs the entire season. So it's one of those situations where obviously we can just try to be assholes and say, yeah, be worried. It's not time to panic yet, but if you get through the first month of the season and you having the same problems that you had last year, given the moves you made and did not make, what do you expect different? Like who are we expecting to show up at Wrigley every week? So I mean, it's way too early. I'm gonna stall them out. I'm not gonna sit here and try to shit on them right now. But no, I won't have that much of a leash for them though. Like I said, after that first month, you're starting to have the same problems, same issues. For as great of a manager as Craig Counsell is, I mean, you need more than a manager, bro. So we're gonna see.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing. They're treating the manager signing like it was a free agent signing. But yeah, like I said, it's too early to be concerned. It's 2 games, man. There's 160 more games left. But I do think the problems that we all saw as problems a couple games in have showed themselves to be problems. So that's something I think will only get bigger from here. But yeah, if you're a Cub fan, you probably annoyed losing 2 in a row, and then you got like 10 days off into the next game. So you have the time to sit on that. But they're gonna have time periods where they look good and time periods where they look bad. So I wouldn't do too much about it right now. Like, it's very hard to get upset about anything in baseball this early unless you just come out the gate like all time Huff. And I didn't see that from them. Tell me about this Jackie Robinson thing, man. If anybody out there who is maybe been under a rock and don't understand what's going on with the DEI thing and them taking his name out of history books but then adding it back. What's your take on everything that's been going on?
I mean, when we all know this this joke of an administration has really been trying to rewrite history essentially, and the way they're doing it is just in a very lazy way. So they basically taken to a lot of the databases in America and just using search engines like keywords like black DEI, not DEI, black, certain shit, and erasing whole pages. Like they had the code breakers from World War II. They deleted that. There was one plane, I think the plane had gay in the title. And because that came up when they searched, they deleted that. So with Jackie Robinson, we all know he's a war hero. He was honored on their homepage. Well, not on the homepage, on their page. Just quick blurb about what he's done and how important he was to not only our military but America as a whole. And they deleted the page and they said, we don't want to look at Jackie through the lens of race. And of course, there was national outrage, and rightfully so. So eventually, they put it back up, and they've been putting out these little BS statements since then, saying about just how it wasn't personal, and Jackie's bigger than race. And you've had a lot of idiots like RG3 come out and say, we should be looking at it that way, and it was just an honest mistake. But the reality is, this is something that we've dealt with for a while, and now I think over these next 4 years, people are going to have to be really diligent at making sure that our history doesn't get erased, because that is, flat out their goal. Like they've made it plain. People dance around and they just won't call it racist. We'll hide behind DEI and things like that. But given the fact that DEI has benefited mainly white women and other races, yet it seems to be weaponized against us the most, blacks and Latinos, it's kind of fucking crazy. But that's where we have to, do like what was done in this situation where you had everybody. It wasn't just black people. Mina Combs took a lot of heat for it. Jeff Passan took a lot of heat for it. But they all stepped up and said something like, this is a national hero. If anybody represents the American dream, it is Jackie Robinson. No matter how much they've tried to whitewash his history and what he represented, the facts are there. And so, they put it back up. They put out a BS statement, but it's just a sign of the times, bro. This next 4 years are going to be really interesting, and we're going to have to really do our due diligence to make sure that our history isn't erased, because they are definitely going to try to do it.
Yeah, I shudder to think what this country is going to look like, election time 2028. It feels like such a long time from now, and with everything that's been going on, I'm damn near scared to see how the country gonna look by the time midterms. Like it's that.
Yeah, it's been 3 months, bro.
It's barely that. It's been like 2. I'm damn near. When he got sworn in the 20th of January, it's been 2 months.
Yeah,
it's been 2 months, and he over here killing the economy, bro. Just doing a whole bunch of stupid stuff. Signing these, these things that's making it look like he's actually trying to change the law. And now we hear this week Steve Bannon coming out saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna find a way for Trump to run again in 2028." Like it's nasty stuff going on. And not that anything is funny, but I do find it funny that some people that voted for him are shocked that he's doing what everybody said he was gonna do. Like, this is who he is, man. And I think the Jackie Robinson thing was just a small part in this line of current bullshit that he's currently doing. And yeah, you have to keep people informed and everything like that. Like, honestly, growing up, one for my parents, my grandmother, my auntie, I wouldn't have known about my Black history because they didn't teach that in schools. At least schools I went to, they didn't teach it in the most in-depth way. All we knew about was Dr. King and Malcolm X. And even the way they played in Malcolm X, like he was just like over the top radical all the time. Was he that sometimes? Yeah, that was half his personality. People forget what happened towards the latter parts of his year. And we didn't, I had learned this stuff in documentaries too. So I think that even stuff you see with them trying to dissolve the board of education, like they're intentionally trying to make people dumber. And that's what we're seeing right here, man. So we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be back on the other side in about a minute. Gonna bring Bang back. Still waiting for Amari to join us. Hopefully he'll join us in the second hour. But we got some football to talk, and we've also got some baseball to talk as well. So we'll be right here on 79, not 79. Right here on I'm Not Gonna Hold You. I host too many shows. Be right back here on I'm Not Gonna Hold You, man. We'll be right back.
So cool.
Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna.
And we are back. And I'm not gonna hold you. Gonna bring Bang back in here. Mariano is about to pull up in just a minute, man. Let's go to the first topic while we wait for Mario to get here. I saw this yesterday, and I know Mikey put it in the chat again today about ESPN gonna be getting ready to buy all of NFL media. More specifically, they're gonna buy the NFL Network. Their plan is to buy NFL Red Zone and also NFL Plus for about $2 billion. Now, the deal is not done yet. A lot of things can happen when people are negotiating and things like that. But right now, that is the plan for them to acquire all of this and to really, really get knee deep into the NFL coverage. We know they broke ties with the MLB. No more Sunday Night Baseball. No real baseball on ESPN. I'm guessing outside of the playoffs. Man, I want your as the senior media man. I don't mean senior in a joking way, but as the senior media man, as somebody, let me put this in a better way. As somebody whose job is to be up to date what's going on in the media landscape, do you think this is a good or bad thing right
here? See, media is different now. Like, well, all of this happened is it's not like people are going to be trying to find. It's not like people are going to be handcuffed by what they say because of the way that this is set up. When we look at it, they already own it. Like when you look at programming, what do you see? You see nothing but football. If anything, I think NFL films, let me put it like this. NFL films, when I was growing up, that used to be the pinnacle of like sports owned media. And over the years, it has not been the same. Documentaries and all of those things. Yeah, you might have like it was those Super Bowl documentaries and stuff like that. But when you look at what ESPN done with 30 for 30 and all of those things, they've really surpassed that. So when you look at some of the programming that you have, like Good Morning Football and the draft, you already have the draft simulcast. Good Morning Football, you see, I think it's the day before the draft. Good Morning Football is on ESPN and stuff too. So they're already kind of working together. So for me, in my opinion, it's a marriage that is probably already happening in some type of capacity. We just don't see it out in the front. But I don't think just because ESPN is ESPN, I don't think that don't mean anything, because when you look at TNT really holds down the NBA network. Like TNT is pretty much the NBA network. And we don't say anything about TNT, anything like that. So, I mean, I think it's a marriage that has already been happening. And it's just going to be amplified. And I think programming for NFL Network probably is going to be better for it.
Yeah, I hope so. Like, I feel like, yeah, if you're anti big business and things like that, oh, this shouldn't happen, da da da. And I 100% I get that. But I think ESPN will do this right and give us the content we need on there. Number one, I think not ESPN, it's ESPN. I think the NFL Plus, it's terrible.
Very.
Like there's no redeeming quality to it.
It's the worst out of the pluses.
It is. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, if we doing content wise, yes, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we doing interface wise, I'm still going Paramount Plus interface is terrible. But
Paramount Plus's interface is terrible, but the content is there. NFL Networks and the NFL Plus is.
NFL Plus takes you 5 minutes to open up. But yeah, I think from that standpoint, people will be upset. But overall, anything I'm with will make the NFL bigger and give us better content. And I think ESPN can do that. I think ESPN needs to shift from what they're doing in the first take model of things and kind of get back to making quality content that people want to see. It's something like, the way they put things together, how they used to put things together. There used to be a story to it. And that's some main things we've been talking about with the NBA. The NFL has that. And I think they can just take it to another level here with that. Dante, any thoughts on ESPN potentially buying this company?
I mean, it was just a matter of time. Like, they've been in bed together for years. So when your bottom lines are that directly tied to each other, it was only a matter of time.
All right, man. We got one team that already made a move, and that is the Minnesota Vikings. They have officially passed on Aaron Rodgers. Decided he wasn't worth it, as we all know. He isn't worth it. Okay, we got our guy here, man. Making his way back to the show. We've got the one and only Mariano Bivens, man. Mari, what is going on, brother?
What's good, man?
Well, I'm here sounding like Doc Rivers because my voice is gone.
Yeah, I see. It's all good, though. You here. You know what I'm saying?
I'm here.
You here. What's up, G's? What's going on?
What's good?
Ain't shit, man. I'm chilling. Happy to be back, man. You know what I'm saying? I want to say this, though, before we even just get into anything. Like, the King of Queens has the highest replay value of any sitcom ever, excluding nobody.
Yes, 100%.
So we can get into whatever y'all want to get into now. I just want to say that. Just so
y'all don't kill me. I've never watched the episode.
Listen,
brother.
Not only are we not going to kill you, we're like probably envious of you. You get to experience this for the first time. Like, it's a beautiful show, bro. I promise you. This is not that fan base.
King Queen's over. Yeah.
Yeah, this ain't that fan base that's gonna be like, no, bro. Welcome. And like, man, please, like, I'm looking forward to you watching it. Like, it's a beautiful show. It's a great show.
When
Dante, what's the deal, my boy?
Chilling, my boy. What's the word?
I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling out, man.
Jane, when we finish this show, take your remote on your smart TV, go to Peacock, put in King of Queens.
Please do.
Just rock out.
Yeah,
I wish I could experience watching Doug Heffernan, my favorite white woman, Carrie Heffernan, Arthur Spooner.
She the coldest.
Man, my man. And here's the thing. Here's my King of Queens take. I was not a fan of the seasons with Richie.
Really?
I'm more of a Danny Spence guy.
Wow. Look, let me tell anybody who's never seen King of Queens, or if you have seen it, whatever. This is where I'm at with King of Queens, right? Here's how I'll explain it. If there was like a Wheel of Fortune type of thing where you can put the seasons up there first, you can spin that, land on the season. You got to watch an episode from that season, right? There's no wrong choice. Whatever season you land on, if you had to then spin the wheel again, and whatever episode it lands on, you got to watch that. You will not get a bad episode, bro. You're not. The chances of you getting a bad episode, like, it's just not gonna happen.
Bro,
it's just
15 years ago, my mom bought me the King of Queens box set for Christmas.
Mm-hmm. I got
Best Christmas gift I've ever got.
Yeah, I got it sitting there right now, chilling.
chilling.
Now
Like,
I've been in love with Carrie Hefferman since Saved by the Bell.
the
She
Saved
the
by the
one.
Bell, nigga. Yes.
Yeah, she the one. She been the
Saved
one
by
for a
Yes.
very,
I
very
would-
long time.
My wife was up in here watching Scientology. I hate
Yeah.
Scientology
Yeah.
joints, and I was like, "Hey, no, that's Shorty from Saved by the Bell right there. I'm gonna watch with you."
Carrie
Nah,
Heffernan, the
she got it.
Queen, Arthur Spooner, man. My man, Spooner. I'm not Spooner, but my man, Jerry Stiller. Is one of the funniest dudes ever. One of
Yeah.
the funniest dudes ever.
Arthur Spooner is
And
one of the greatest characters ever.
Arthur Spooner, I think my favorite Arthur moment. Remember the episode where they were Jug and Carrie watching Deacon and Kelly's kids, and so they
Bro.
made them take Arthur, and they were in like this pizza place, and they weren't getting service right away. And Arthur's like, "Is it because we're black?" That was hilarious, man. But
Nah,
my
it's
favorite.
great.
I'm just gonna say this one last thing. My favorite King Queens episode is the Three Wives episode.
He was like, "Watch this. You got the downstairs wife. You got the upstairs." So I was like,
wife.
"Come on, dog.
And a Coliseum wife.
Come on, dog. Doug, yo, shout out to Doug, man.
Shout out
Doug
to
is.
Ooh.
He was a Jets fan and all that too, but I forgive him, man. He was a good dude, man. He actually wasn't a good. He was one of the worst dudes ever. But I'm saying he was a good dude because.
But that's what made him and Carrie perfect. They're both terrible
100%.
human beings.
1,000,000%.
They're both terrible human beings. But
Yes.
Maury, man, let them know they follow you, man.
Yeah, man. At Mariano on Twitter. I'm never calling it that other name. You know what I'm saying? You know, on Instagram at Mariano Bibbins. You know what I mean? The weather changing, man. I usually tell y'all, 2 N's, 2 O's, like I tell your when she asked me for money. The weather changing though. You know what I'm saying? And so maybe I'll be a little bit more generous because the weather's being generous to me right now. So we'll see.
He says, since it got warmer out, I'm gonna be nicer. E-Dot says,
Maybe.
Maury playing a wave off. Didn't know Versus was back.
I just took the dude. I'm in the middle of leading the lineup right now.
I'm about to say no. Mariano is definitely the inspiration, bro. When he posted
man.
crown work on the
Yeah,
IG,
man. I'm doing the work. And look, when I post it, bro, I promise you, it's always for motivational purposes only. Because I'm still doing the work. I still got work to do. You see, I'm in the middle of needing a lineup. You know what I'm saying? I just took the do-rag off.
It's it's an amazing feeling. Like it's a sunny day in the air. You step outside, you let the sun hit the butters. It's
glistening.
This shit is different, right?
That's how I go, man. Yeah.
I miss Atlanta, man. I gotta get back out to the A.
Yes, sir.
Man, we the first thing I want to talk about with you, man. Before we get to the Giants, because we want to talk about the Giants.
For sure.
I went early in the show. I officially proclaimed myself a Drake hater.
Okay.
Now, I want to know. Of course, we know you're a diehard Drake fan. Shout out my boy Big Waz.
Yeah. Shout out to Waz.
Always break down your favorite things, but we know that you're a hip hop guy first.
Always.
There's been a lot of un-hip hop shit this nigga's been doing.
I
I want to know, what's your thoughts on Drake post beef? Forget the beef. The way he's been moving post beef.
Yeah.
For me, it's unforgivable as a hip hop
Yeah.
fan for me.
Yeah. It is. And I think you used the right word. It's unforgivable because the people who should be the most mad in this situation or the most disappointed, I would say, not like mad, the most disappointed are the people who were like huge Drake fans, because I'm not saying that Drake had to be Beanie Siegel or Jadakiss. That's a tall task to ask anyone not named Beanie Siegel and Jadakiss. All right. My thing is, he just quit rapping. You didn't even give like anybody a chance. People who didn't like you, people who liked you, whatever. You didn't give people a chance to judge enough work. Like, you just quit rapping and you was like, oh, that's good enough. And I'm gonna take it a step further. I think that if you do the short-term, long-term gain type of thing, I think him winning that Meek Mill battle is one of the worst things that happened to him, because he felt like it's this easy to knock off a guy who got the respect from like the streets and the respect from the culture. I took him down. So like, now don't ever question my pen again. Don't question like my spot in this game again. And then with the Pusha T shit, we know Pusha T, we love Pusha T, but not enough people overall, you know what I'm saying, like would come out there and understand what Pusha means to us and to the culture overall to like give him the numbers in there, right? So Drake can quit rapping and nobody cares, cool. He just ran into somebody like Kendrick where it's like, no, everybody's watching now because everybody cares. And you lost and you played yourself to a level where it's like, even if you just lost the battle because we preferred his content over yours, that's different than like you quitting and saying like, yo, I'm done responding and all this kind of shit. Now you suing and you want to see the contract, you want to do this. None of that shit represents like the culture that he claims to be like the GOAT in. So if his GOAT case wasn't already done in by like the ghostwriting shit or whatever, it's definitely over with now with this, because he's been playing himself ever since. You don't even know how to take an L. Like, what's going on with you?
Yeah, that's been the thing that's been the most irritating for me, because the losing the battles, whatever. A lot of niggas have lost battles.
Yeah.
My favorite rapper, JZ, has lost the battle.
And
But
people are still
that-
debate you on that today.
Hey, did y'all?
for sure.
Speaking of this bullshit, did y'all see the bullshit Kendrick reference track to swimming pools?
I ain't even click on it.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, I clicked
Wow,
on it.
like, come on, bro. What are
I
we
ain't even
doing?
click on it.
A Drake fan just sent me this, bro. I was like, hang this shit up, bro. Like, it's
Yeah.
over. Stop.
It's been over with for a very long time, bro. And it's because all he had to do, honestly, you go back there and you look at those, like, you know, when 50 Cent was outside and he was doing this shit for real, he just wouldn't stop rapping. It's not like he was doing the best rapping of the battle or anything like that. He just wouldn't stop. And he was like, yo, you know, Drake missed a key element of this hip-hop shit too. It ain't about the bars. It ain't about none of that. They're talking before the song, talking during the song, talking after the song, giving that shit to a DJ, going to a radio station and giving us a classic clip. This is the day of clips. This is the era, the age of clips and just content, short form content. Give us a meme, a GIF, or whatever. Like, he should have been tapping in with those DJs. I'm going up there to go sit with Clue or somebody, or Who Kid. Right. He had Who Kid on the song. I thought we was getting like a whole Kendrick diss tape. That's what I thought. You got Who Kid. We know Who Kid from being with 50. So I'm thinking that Drake is about to be on some shit like, yo, I'm about to talk crazy to him. I'm gonna get on here and give y'all some classic radio clips and all of that. He did none of those things that could have made this at least debatable. It could have made a Drake fan say, no, he got that, and not look crazy. Now you can't say Drake won that battle without looking like you on the OVO payroll, because it's just so obvious of a loss. He missed a few key things that this hip-hop shit is about, and he proved Kendrick and everybody who has not liked him for the past 15, 16 years correct about him. You're not of this shit. You're not from this shit. You got a lot of great songs, but when we really get down to the real shit, the dice game at the end of the night, you got to go home.
And I think the lawsuit bothers me more than the not rapping thing. Like, it's like, come on, bro. Like, you said this man beat his wife and that his kids was his best friends. Like,
you can't tell me how to react. Me and my wife just had a conversation about that, dog. We got to make it home together. You my family.
Yeah.
I don't care what's going on. If you say something about my wife, bro, you letting me know where we taking it to. We can take the gloves off. It's over with. Cool. No matter what you said. Like Pusha T said, you saying my wife's name was enough. The bar wasn't even that great, but you said my wife's name.
And that's the problem. When he always gets in a situation, what's the first thing he do? He goes to the woman. When Joe Budden and them niggas was laughing at him, what does he do on his Finsta? He puts up a picture of Melissa Ford. Like, what are we doing,
bro?
So, like, this is what I said too, and then we're gonna move on to sports.
Yeah.
For me, like, the battles to the point where, like, even with Jay-Z and Nas, we can still have conversations about it. Like, I personally think Takeover was a better song than Ether and what Nas released. But the general public said Nas won. And I love Hov. I don't forget he was stuttering like Ron Harper on Hot 97 when Ether came out.
Yeah.
I can't. He lost. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, he also chose to just give Nas like one of those verses, and Nas gave him a whole song. So it's like, you don't get to tell me
you don't Drake
tell
did.
me not to give you just a verse because you gave me a verse. I'm gonna give you a song, and I'm gonna diss you again on, might be a controversial take, but I think Destroy and Rebuild is a better diss record overall than Ether is. But I get it because the target is bigger, so I understand that Ether is greater, but Destroy and Rebuild I think is a better song. And it's more because it's more of a personal song. It's more of a, you're bringing up some shit that we didn't know because we don't live in Queensbridge. You know what I'm saying? Love that song. And he threw he smoked Jay on that too. You know what I'm saying? So like, you don't get to dictate the terms of the battle when you start it, bro. You smack somebody, however they react, that's how they react. You don't know that person.
Shit out of Orlando, man.
Orlando said Bang was 12 when Kumo D was beefing with LL.
Shit out of Orlando, fam.
But yeah, and it's like, to me too, man, you look at it like when the beef started, like there's an alternate reality where Kendrick doesn't like that verse.
Yeah.
And Drake's like, whatever. Because
Right.
honestly, if you look back, there's nothing scathing in that line. It's really nothing different from the bars that Kendrick threw him the first decade. Like I was re-listening to Pimp Butterfly this week, and King Kunta comes out before Meek said this nigga had ghostwriting. So
Right.
obviously Kendrick knew something. You know what I'm saying? So there's been shots before, but him responding to that push-ups, and it's like he was just golden Kendrick. Like, use that strategy, you have nothing to release button. And then the way he hyped up Family Matters, like it was you never call victory before the game was over. He pulled the swaggy P. You know, put the shot in there and walked off. Meet the Grams come like that. And now you're doing this white woman stuff that you're doing right here. So for me personally, now some people it don't matter. They can step. For me personally, I tried to listen to some of the songs on the P&D album. There was a couple joints I liked. I
couldn't do it. I still haven't finished that album because like I listened to the intro. I was vibing with the intro a little bit. I listened to the one shit, the Give Me a Hug joint or whatever, and then that got cornied up real quick by, you know, I ain't gonna say the name, but like
we know
got cornied up. Yeah, you know. But you know, so it's some moments on there that I think I can appreciate, but it's like overall, you got sent back home to get your shine box and you really went and got it. Because like they told you, Pusha T told you, I like Jaded. Make more of those. Stop talking to me crazy. Kendrick told you, stop talking to me crazy. Make some shit I could dance to. And what you go do? You want to make some shit they can dance to. And it is what it is, bro. Niggas can feel however they want to feel about it.
And bro, that's why I'm at with it too. Like, that's solid songs, but it don't sound the same to me, bro.
I just don't. And then he's talking about he don't care about a rap battle. He care about this. And it's like, man, shut up, bro. Like, just shut up, dog.
You called your lawyers. And look,
don't even
it's non-confrontational.
Yeah, like
nigga, don't even get me started on that Kerry Bradshaw IG post he put up. Like, and like, you know, saying, oh, things are gonna get uncomfortable. Like, my nigga.
For who?
No kid.
For you?
No, right, for you. Like,
the fuck?
No Kid is a cool song, but niggas is gassing it. And you gotta know, eats him up every night when he looks at Billboard. And the nigga, we know he looks at Billboard because he like 50 when a nigga loves numbers. And he sees Kendrick ahead of him. Luther's been number one for a month now. So to me, it's just like, I know everybody's like, oh, drop new music, nobody's gonna care anymore. I don't 100% think that's the truth.
No,
I don't.
Man. It's different. The temperature has definitely shifted because we're looking at you like, okay, well, those songs that we used to love where you was talking all greasy and all this kind of shit, you was going at Meek Mill and Tiger and shit. You know, you beat them easily, that's cool, but against the juggernauts of this shit, you didn't even hold your own. So like, I don't care. I don't care.
I'll close it like this. Styles P said, yo, you know what I'm saying? We love you up there. You're
beautiful
great
up there.
But don't come down here and try to rewrite the rules and tell us how we gonna play down here.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, when niggas gave passes for reference tracks, I was like, okay, we done lost the plot.
Yeah.
We done lost the plot.
Yeah.
And so that to me is just where I'm at with Drake, man. But let's talk about your Giants because y'all actually got some good happening right now. You know what I'm saying?
Let's talk about
third
them.
pick in the NFL draft.
Don't even
a lot of rumors. Got Shador might be going to y'all three. You know what I'm saying? Shador top 3 rumors been picking up for last couple weeks. What do you want them to do at pick 3? And what do you expect them to do at pick 3?
What I want them to have done was not win that game against the Colts for the culture that you have not had built in there since like Tom Coughlin was gone. Don't feed me that bullshit about culture. You went out there, you got to win. Okay, cool. Everybody who participated in that win, you don't get a say-so in the quarterback situation. You just don't. You won for the culture. Let's win some games off the culture shit that you talked about instead then, right? We could have had the number 1 pick flat out because the Eagles even came out there and like, you know, I thought they was going to lay down like they won. They won that game. We would have just had the first pick flat out. Wouldn't even been no debate. At number 3, if Cam Ward is going number 1 like I expect him to be, and then number 2 is Abdul Carter like we've been seeing or whatever, right? If Shador is there at number 3, you have to take Shador Sanders. You absolutely have to. Like, I don't want to hear this shit about people saying that, you know, he's arrogant and, you know, this, that, and the third. Name me a quarterback who isn't. You give me a quarterback who's not arrogant, I don't want him on my team. Like, it's just, that's the position you need to be arrogant. You need to think you're the best. You better think you're the best. Don't go out there and think you just, oh, shucks. All shucks don't get it done. I'm sorry, bro. Like, it just don't. But I want them to take Shedeur if he's available. That's what I want them to do. It's a simple choice for me. The tape is good. Everybody who watches quarterbacks and watch football and knows football, they looking at them like, what are we talking about? Like, how is this all of a sudden a weak draft now? Because some of the names that you might not like, or some of the faces you might not, that you want to see at the top aren't there. It's just a weak draft now. Like, nah.
Yeah, and I think too that goes to our next topic about the man I hate more than the devil himself, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, we had a nice little conversation on Monday. When we were talking about where his place would be on any of these teams, and then we had the Vikings saying that they're out on him. They're gonna go in with JJ McCarthy. The possibility is that he can still be a Giant. We know he met with the Steelers today for 6 hours, but no deal came together. But they said they'll keep in touch. Do you think? I mean, why do you think? Obviously, it's a possibility. How would you react to him being on your team, and how do you think that Giants fans will react to him being on the team?
I'm gonna tell you what. Immediately, everything I said about Aaron Rodgers, I'm a 180, right? Because he's gonna be on my team, and I'm just a biased. I'm a fan of like it is what it is. Make no mistake about it. He is the best quarterback that's out there right now. Let's not kid ourselves. Like the best free agent quarterback. Let's please not kid ourselves. He's the best thing that's out there. So the Giants, as much as I wanted them to just like stand up and like not do this shit or whatever, like letting him, play with your time like that, he's still the best option available. And if he says just flat out, no, I'm not coming there, then you wait for him because you put yourself in this position. You played yourself out of being a respectable franchise to being this shit now. You know what I'm saying?
My nigga, thank you, Maury. Thank you.
I think that Giants fans wouldn't have a choice on how to feel. You just sat through 6 years of Daniel Jones. You don't get to tell anybody about like what Aaron Rodgers is going to come and do or what he's going to – because if Daniel Jones was giving you what Aaron Rodgers gave you last year, he'll still be here. So we're not going to play that game where it's like Aaron Rodgers coming here and all of a sudden they putting you burning your jerseys. If you wasn't burning your jerseys when DJ was here, I don't want to hear none of that shit because there's still some people out there right now that when he signed with the Colts, they was championing it on and cheering. Okay, well, go be Colts fans. You like the blue and the white so much, go be Colts fans then. Because if Aaron Rodgers signs here, you better go get his jersey too and root for him too, because he'll be the best quarterback that we've had in a very, very, very long time. So it's easy, really, for me. Like,
yeah, Bang was yelling at me on Monday. We yelling at all of us.
I wasn't yelling at y'all.
All I was
saying is what Mariano just said. He's the best quarterback on the market right now. Mm-hmm. If that nigga spent 6 hours with the Steelers today and they didn't sign nothing, I'll say this now. If I am the Pittsburgh Steelers and that nigga sat down for 6 hours with me and that nigga didn't sign no contract before he left, nigga Russ, come on. Just come on. I ain't got time to wait for this shit. Yeah. Unless you heard something in that meeting that made you go, no, Russ, go ahead. Come on, go ahead. Yeah. And we're going to draft Tyler Schlaw in the later rounds. We're going to do that shit too. But all I was saying was he's the best quarterback on the market. Y'all put yourselves in this position. It is what it is at this point. Yep. But Aaron Rodgers is not bringing in all those extra niggas. Like Courtney kept saying, like, he bringing in. He's not bringing in Nathaniel Hackett. He's not bringing in Randall Cobb. He's not bringing in Alan Lazard. He's not bringing in goddamn whoever he wants to bring in. Whatever team he goes to, especially the Steelers, when he goes to that team, he's the only nigga coming. So he has to know that he's not bringing in that baggage that he brought in, and this is my last chance. But if that nigga don't sign and he says I'm retiring, that means that nigga was like, no, I can't do what I want to do, so I'm just going to go ahead and chill out. That's it.
Yeah,
that's a good point. I just think that from what I was saying on Monday, it's more than just we bring him with him. Like I don't want to say he's not a good teammate because his teammates love him from everything we've heard. Well, he is a distraction to me. Like, if I was a team, I wouldn't want to deal with the McAfee on Tuesdays. I wouldn't want to deal with, well, guys, it's a flat earth. Did you know that 9/11 was a kid conspiracy theory? Like, he just does so much.
But you know what though, Scott? I think that with New York in particular, they're gonna make that show anyway. Because like whatever they do, whoever the quarterback is, they're gonna talk about those teams anyway. And that'd be the thing that people talk about with like the New York media and players not wanting to go there or not handling it the right way or whatever. So they're gonna be in there regardless. I think with him, my whole thing about wanting him is like, all right, cool. If he comes in, he's the best option on the market, right? Cool. You check that box. But then also you got somebody he's a bridge quarterback. This is not your quarterback like for the future. This is somebody who your rookie is going to come behind. Like this does not mean don't draft the quarterback at all. Now, if they took Aaron Rodgers and didn't draft the quarterback, I would hate it. But if you take Aaron Rodgers, you draft your future quarterback to sit behind him, to learn, to build that relationship up, get that rapport up, then I love it, like 100%. So even that part of it, like the distraction part, New York gonna make it anyway. Like we was just getting talked about every week with Daniel Jones. Like, what's gonna hurt if we got Aaron Rodgers there? Like it is what it is.
I know it's freeing that you don't have Daniel Jones on your team.
Oh boy. Pray for the homies who root for the Colts, man. Because boy, if that's what you needed to light a fire under Anthony Richardson ass, we're gonna see some all-time shit this season, man. Some entertainment from the Colts, one way or another. We're gonna see some entertainment.
Yeah, 100%. Let's talk about the next era in Minnesota Vikings football. That is JJ McCarthy, or as Bang calls him, he'll be opening up his own. What'd you say, store?
No. He's going to be the next. He's going to be 2035. He's going to be the head coach of his alma mater, Nazareth Academy in LaGrange Park, Illinois. He's going to lead them. He's going to lead them to a state championship, y'all.
To a state championship?
He's going to lead Nazareth Academy to a ISHA. What's that? Class 3A championship. That's what JJ McCarthy is going to do. JJ McCarthy is going to be the future head coach in Michigan.
You know what's funny? I could see that. He looks like a head coach. I look at it like this, man. I don't know what JJ McCarthy is going to be, but I think that Kevin O'Connell has earned the benefit of the doubt. That he knows what he's doing when it comes to coaching quarterback talent. And I will put a lot of stock behind that with the way that he can play with the Kevin O'Connell. But at the same time, if I'm opposing defense, if I'm anybody else in the North, I'm looking at my chops because this is a team last year that was 11 wins, and it didn't matter. Man, it really didn't matter even before the playoffs. They lost a couple close regular season games. But Mark, what's your faith level? I know you're a Michigan guy, so you love JJ McCarthy. What is your faith level in him being able to be the franchise guy that Minnesota's looking for forever?
I mean, shit, it's high as long as they continue to like re-sign their weapons, pay their weapons, because he's coming into a situation where it's like you have one of, like, if not the best wide receiver in the NFL. You got a good running game. Like, you have a solid team that's like you said, they 11 wins, but it's like you coming into this shit with, I don't want to say zero expectations, because like if they hand you the keys to the franchise, they expect a lot out of you. But I mean, shit, you just got this out of Sam Darnold, who a lot of people thought was like done. So if JJ's anything like we think he's going to be, or that I think he's going to be, I think they'll be just fine. Like, you don't come across just like a franchise quarterback just sometimes ever. Like, you probably never going to find your guy. So my faith level is like very high. Some of this is biased, obviously. Like, he's a Wolverine. We won with him. So, like, I mean, come on. What am I supposed to do? But also, it's like, shit, the team they have in place, I think they're just good enough to win some games if they have the right type of play on all levels, but especially at quarterback. I trust them. I do trust them. I'm not a fan of a team that's in that division, but I mean, shit, I trust them. I trust them to get it done.
Yeah, I think that when it comes to, how to be able to get it done, I think it's just got to go back to everything the way that the organization moves with Kevin O'Connell, which is way different than before. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you've ever had a guy who's considered quote unquote a young offensive genius like we've seen for Kevin O'Connell. And not to say that JJ McCarthy's going to be flashy and things like that, but I do think he's going to make the right plays to keep his team in the game and not necessarily lose the game for them. And I think that'll help out tremendously. Bang, we know you don't have much faith in McCarthy's future, but what do you think what that's going to do for the Vikings for next season?
I don't know because we don't know. And what I mean by that is he got hurt. He tore his MCL. He had surgery, 2 surgeries on it. So that means he wasn't in practice. So really the only thing you got to go by JJ McCarthy after college is a couple of practices and like 1 preseason throw. Because I think it was like 1 preseason throw, which was a beautiful throw, if I remember that joint correctly. And then next thing you know, he didn't come back in the game. So he's had 2 MCL surgeries, not 1, but 2. So my concern for the Vikings, or let me not say concern because they're in the same division. What I'm glad about the Vikings situation is that you really don't know. They do need a backup vet right now. Like a Joe Flacco type that could just come in when ready if needed. But we don't know. And I think Kevin O'Connell, great coach, great offensive mind. It's more about the player that they got and if he really has it. Arm-wise, talent-wise, yes, he does. But is he healthy enough? And will this season be enough? Because last year wasn't even a true redshirt season. Didn't practice. He just sat there, rehabbed, looked at the playbook. So this year is going to be his rookie season all the way around. So knowing that and knowing that he has not practiced, he's not done anything, and he's still rehabbing. Not so sure about the Vikings. And I'm happy about that. I like this uncertainty around the Vikings. I'm not so sure that the Vikings are going to be next year, maybe. We'll see. But I'm not so sure. At the same time, though, if JJ McCarthy came out this year, he would be the number 1 pick in the draft.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you feel that strongly about him because of what you see in this draft, you keep him.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Dante, what's your thoughts on JJ McCarthy taking over the reins in Minnesota, being the number 1 QB?
For me, it's not really much more so about JJ than it is about Kevin. Like I trust what Kevin is doing. He's shown me that if he could take Sam Darnold and go win 14 games, this is a coach who knows what he's doing, and you just really need a quarterback who's willing to listen and run the offense that he's running. I feel the same way about Kyle Shanahan. Like a lot of times, I don't give a damn who you give Kyle Shanahan to play quarterback. Like he could take me out there, and I'm gonna give you 3,700 and 20 touchdowns. Like that's how his offense works. He's that good, and I'm starting to get that type of faith in Kevin O'Connell. And so when you have that type of brain as the head of the operation, the sky's the limit. And so with JJ, it's really about his availability, because at Michigan he wasn't asked to do certain things. I hate when people try to shit on him and say, "Oh, well, he didn't throw the ball at Michigan." It wasn't because he couldn't throw the ball. He just, if I got 2 great running backs and a dog ass O-line, I'm not gonna throw the ball. Like I'm just not gonna do it. And so that's how Harbaugh played it. But I think JJ could very well be, again, this is shaping up to be the toughest division in football for like the next. It could be like for the next decade. Like I think it's that good, and you have that much talent, which is kind of why you see the Lions trying to angle for that. Hey, let's just do the best records and then go from there, because it's gonna be some seasons, bro, where it's gonna be some seasons where you have teams with 13 wins and your ass is on the road, playing a dog ass game week 1 of the playoffs. So it's gonna be interesting. But I think my faith is more so in Kevin than JJ, but I do believe that he can be successful in Minnesota.
Hell, he might catch some people off guard too, because you don't really know what you don't really know what you're getting from him. Like if he's, again, all of this depends on his health. Like if he's healthy enough, if his legs hold up and he can like really get through this season, I think because people don't have a tape on you, like you can have a true rookie season. It's not like he played 6-7 games and you kind of know some tendencies, and now he's coming back to try to do something different or whatever. Like, so like I do want to see him. You know, I'm probably the only person up here that's gonna say this shit, but I do want to see him be successful. But I get why y'all wouldn't because like he's in your division. You're not supposed to.
I want that nigga to be terrible.
Yeah, as you should.
I want to look at the schedule twice a year, be like, win.
That's
what I want to do. Because it's gonna be tough for the others. And speaking of the others, man, there's been 2 complaints. We're gonna get into these potential NFL rule changes from 2 NFC North teams. One the Green Bay Packers, the other the Detroit Lions. So my question, y'all. So these are 3 changes. The Packers want the tush push ban. I don't know. There was not a specific team that wanted this, but they're considering changing the overtime rules in the playoffs to just the overtime rules, period, in football. And then third, you got the Detroit Lions. They're proposing for division winners to not just get a home game because they're division winners and base it more off who had the better record. I want to ask y'all, which one of these you think is the most terrible and which one do you think has the highest chance of actually going through? For me, I'm going to say the one that has the highest chance of going through are the overtime rules. I think that's going to happen. The playoff season is very weak to me. The one thing that makes the NFL great, one thing that makes the MLB great is these the divisions. This is not like the NBA. Nobody cares who wins the division in the NBA. I almost don't know what teams are in separate divisions in the NBA. But with the NFL, that's what made it great. And if you win your division, you should have a top 4 seed. I don't care what nobody says. Everybody's like, well, they have a better record. They should have played better and stayed more, in pace with the team that's really dominating. So this is just, to me, the Lions trying to get ahead of the curve before everything else comes together. And so, when they have to pay tougher teams this year with the Bears, it's going to be tougher. The Vikings, if they're good, and of course, Green Bay is always around. They don't want to be, not have playoff seeding with a game at Ford Field because of how great the actual, the records are. So I'm going to go around, go to Maury, Bang, and then Dante. Maury, which one of these 3 do you think is you hate, and which one do you think has the highest chance of actually passing?
I think the overtime rule easily is the one that's going to pass. Like that's going to be. It makes sense, right? The one that I give pushback on, which might surprise y'all, is the tush push thing. The reason why I'm saying that is because they've already won with it. Like you should have, if you was gonna push for this shit to stop, like really push for this shit to stop, it should have been like before. They already won. We're gonna stop it now. Like they don't. If they never have to use it again, they'll probably be okay, bro. Like what's the? Like I don't know. I just don't know. Like the issue with just that play, because if that play was just that easy, everybody would just be doing it. Everybody would be successful with it. They're doing this shit. It's working for them. It is what it is, bro. Come up with your own shit. Like come up with something else that somebody else can't stop, or somebody else feel like is an unfair advantage or whatever, because you only feel like that because it's working. If it wasn't working and every single time they did it, they failed and people was just getting hurt every time and there was nothing good coming from it, then okay, I can understand that. But like they won with this shit. So like what are we doing? You know what I'm saying?
Man, the OT rules, yeah, change that. I'm with that. I agree with that. Let's get that done. Both of those other 2 shits is whole shit though, especially tush push, because the thing about the tush push is something that everybody can do. It's not like you might not be successful, but that's because of the people you got. That's because of what you have, and you need certain things for certain things to be successful. If you don't have that, that don't mean that we can't have it, so you can't have it. No, that's whole shit. To the highest degree. And being that the Green Bay Packers are the team that put it out there, I am excited to call them some whole ass niggas. At the end of the day, I'm excited to always talk shit about the Green Bay Packers. But the OTs could change. The tush push is some whole shit. And the playoff seeding is also some whole shit, because the NFL is built around divisions. You take that away, then you lose a lot of luster when it comes to division rivalries and all of that stuff. No, leave that shit alone. Leave the tush push alone. Leave the seeding alone. But that OT shit, no, go ahead and bring that out.
No, I agree with everybody. I think the OT rules are the ones that actually makes the most sense. And my thing about a lot of rule changes is it has to make sense. I do think the tush push is a garbage ass play, but at the same time, it's not a play that everybody is using and abusing. So I don't think we've gotten to a point yet where it's like, all right, we need to ban this play. If it was a situation where it was an automatic first down or automatic touchdown for anybody who ever used it, no. And we've also seen different variations of it. We've seen it was Philly. Was it Philly who when the tight end comes down in motion and he grabs the ball? We've seen the Bears do it. I know with Cole.
Yeah, that's the not the Philly shuffle. But that little toss that they be doing with Travis
it's
Kelce.
plays. No. I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about the one where the tight end comes down like he's in motion, but then he stops and just gets under center and takes the ball.
Oh, okay,
So,
yeah.
So I mean, it's different variations. So I mean, I think that's a play that you just have to get creative as a defense and try to buckle down. And I mean, it's tough to stop anybody from getting a yard. Like you got to think if you were to ban that play, Jalen Hurts still squats like 650, bro. He can do a traditional QB sneak and get a yard. It's not going to be tough for him, despite what people think. So it's one of those things where to sit here and blame that specific play, that's silly. That's just something like, it's not like Madden where you get the glitch play where they just keep running toss and you can't stop that shit. Like, nah, bro, this play can be stopped. It's just that this team has kind of perfected it. So that would be the one thing that I don't have a problem with it at all, bro. The playoff seeding, I see the vision with that because, I think teams get frustrated in the years where we've had like Seattle before we had 17 games. Remember the year Seattle went, I think 7-9 and won their division. And then they got a home playoff game and people were like, yo, this is some bullshit. Like, I think that's kind of for those situations more so than, oh, I see this team over here that's going to be good for the next few years. Let me stop. Because let's be clear. Detroit played Washington, and Washington could very much win the NL. I say NL, the NFC East. So it's a situation where it's not like they're making this rule for a specific team. So I understand that one. I still don't think that passes, but I think the OT rules is the easiest one where it's like, yeah, bro, we can just let's make this as uniform as possible.
And I didn't like the original OT change. I'm old school. Play defense, nigga. Play defense. Like when the Bills cried for that, they lost to Kansas City a couple years ago. I hated it. So
hated it, but I lost $10,000. So
yeah, that's how I know this nigga really lost $10,000 because he bring this stuff every time anybody on the Bills is brought up.
Bullshit, man.
Every time.
Fuck that team.
But I really hope that the NFL looks at that playoff seeding thing and like, get this shit out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that one is crazy. Like divisions mean something, bro. Like division rivalries mean something. It's like you could put a division game on, and I don't care if it's the Browns and the Ravens, bro. Like we watching that game, dog, because it's a division game. Like it just is what it is. Those games get real different. Like a team that's trash will get up to play their division rival because they're not trying to hear this shit all year. Like it's just what it is.
Don't NBAify the NFL. So,
yeah, man.
Speaking of the NBA, we're going to spend the next little bit talking about the NBA. And before we get to this, Mario, we haven't talked to you in a minute. We've only got a couple weeks left in the regular season.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts as we get ready to – it's like 13 more games left, and then we got the play-in. If you had to pick who your Final Four were for the two teams in the Eastern Conference, two teams in the Western Conference, what would those conference finals look like as far as today, March 21st?
The East, I think, is easy for me. Is Boston and Cleveland. I think that's my picks in the East. In the West, man, I don't know. OKC, I'm gonna say OKC, but this just feels like one of those like you gotta be kidding me Lakers type of years. Like, dog, you serious, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like it just feels like one of those kind of situations, dog. Like, and I don't have the standings in front of me to know like if this is a possibility of them meeting up and shit. But like OKC, LA, Boston, Cleveland is what I'm looking at. That's what I would want to see like right now, because it's certain games where I see LA favorite, And I'm like, how are they favored in this game? And they winning by 30. And I'm like, damn, like, am I tripping? Like, what's going on?
It can be possible for, I'm looking at the standings right now. Cleveland and Boston, number 1 and number 2. So that can be the Eastern Conference Finals.
For sure.
The Lakers are 4, but they're a half game behind Denver, and I think they have the tiebreaker over Denver.
Okay.
If they get the higher record. So that will put them at the 3rd seed. That means them and OKC can meet in the Western Conference. Okay. And I'm with you, man. Like,
okay.
As a former Laker lover, because of this man in the background, and I say former, the minute Fraudulent 23 puts his jersey up,
yeah,
I'm full, I mess with the Lakers. Not only because my man Kobe, 10-year Los Angeles citizenship, I'm throwing that on the table. But it just feels like Luka, he feels like he's been a Laker for a long time. And it ain't even, and I think Bill Simmons said this yesterday on his pod. He's like, I went to the Laker game the other night. He says the first Luka game I've been to. He's like, I haven't seen a crowd get behind a Laker player like this since Kobe. And he's just naming off all the different type of Laker games he's been to because it feels like he's his guy. And I've said this for years, and I feel like unless you live in LA, you don't know what I'm talking about. They treat LeBron like they treated Shaq. He was a hired gun. They don't really love either one of them like that. You know what I'm saying? Like LeBron, Shaq get a lot more love now, retirement, but Kobe was the one. And I really feel like even though they traded for Luka, he's not a homegrown Laker player. It feels like he's their guy. LeBron is buddy ass to Laker fans. Like, yeah, buddy cool, but we don't really rock with him like that. You know what I'm saying? We glad he got a championship for us, and even if they get another one, that's how they're going to feel. But it just flows so well. I was worried about no big men, but Jackson Hayes is hooping. Defensively, they're on another level. And I haven't seen LeBron mesh with a player the way he meshes with Luka probably since his Kyrie days.
Yeah.
Now, I'm with D-Wade on this. D-Wade was like, put some respect in my name. I'm still his best teammate. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm with you. If you look at the teams in the West, bro, there's no team I'd really be intimidated to play if I'm the Lakers. Like,
yeah. Also with that Luka thing, not to cut you off, the thing with the Luka thing is like Luka is one of those graphic guys. Like the things with LA, where they're like, we're gonna get this player, we're gonna get that player, we're gonna get this. He's one of those guys that they actually got. So everybody else had to sit back and be like, damn, okay, y'all got it. I guess we got to chill then because anything is possible. Like they hear us in those front offices, they see the jokes and they like, oh, we can't get him. Let me show you real quick what we can do.
I will never laugh at a Laker fan for any of their photoshops from here on out. So I'm with you on that, man. Like even with Denver, like Denver's great, and I think Jokic is at a point in his career that LeBron was early in his career where it don't matter what the rest of the roster looks like. He can win a series on his own. But there's any time for LA to beat Denver is right now. So even though I think OKC is the best team, if I'm Lakers, I wouldn't be scared of them niggas. Like, I'm LeBron James. They got 4 NBA championships. And I feel the same way about Golden State as well. But I still think at healthy, nobody's beating Boston. But I think this is going to be a fun playoffs, man. I think it's going to be a fun playoffs. But moving on, man, we talking about the Warriors just a second ago. Draymond Green, your fellow Michigan brother. You know, he went to state.
Whoa.
Even though he went to state. I mean,
okay, like, cool. Yeah, because we got to make that distinction now.
Yeah, make that clear.
I tell everybody I know, man, listen, back home in Michigan, I don't care what team you root for. I don't care what sport you love. Tom Izzo is him. It's unquestioned. There's no way around that. However, when it comes to those colors, I'm going to sound like a different group of people right now. When it comes to those colors, I can't fuck with it. Cannot do it. I done seen some of the hardest Air Force Ones in my life that's been those colors. And I was like, you got to get out my cart. I can't do it. I cannot do it. I promise I can't. But yeah.
But y'all are from the same state.
For sure.
I was watching Dan.
I think we got the same birthday too, which is weird.
That's crazy. That's crazy. You ever look up like what celebrities you share a birthday with? Like,
I think it's him, bro.
Yeah.
I share birthday with 3 celebrities: CM Punk, Schoolboy Q, and Hillary Clinton.
Oh
All
boy.
3 are
That's
October
crazy.
26th.
I got
Bang, you on mute.
Bernie Mac.
Bang, you on mute.
I got Bernie Mac and Grant Hill.
Oh,
Damn.
okay. They said Barney
Biggie,
sound like Ronald Reagan.
Biggie, Mr. T, Ron Isley, and Chris Benoit.
I'm
Don't
looking
you
right
say-
Could have
now.
kept that last
Don't
one,
you-
brother.
Yeah, you could. Don't you share birthday with the illustrious Pappy?
No, Pappy's the next day.
That's right. Pappy's the next day. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like CM Punk, Schoolboy Q, and Hillary Clinton is very random. Very, very random. But that's what it is. But the question I was gonna ask, man, is I feel like Draymond, I was watching Dan Le Batard this week. And I forgot the comedian. I think his name is Sam Morril. And he was like, Draymond might be mentally ill. He said, like, he was over here talking about what Stephen A said about Bronny, but he's saying the same thing about Cat when Cat didn't play.
Man,
Bro.
And he's like, look,
hot kettle.
he's like, look, man, yeah, pot called kettle black. And he's like, you can't do that. Then when they told Draymond why Cat missed, and he was like, oh yeah, I stand on what I said. He's like, Draymond's like that guy when you make fun of him and he tells you something like, oh yeah, but your mom has cancer.
Bro.
So my question is there something wrong with Draymond, like outside him just being a wild nigga?
I'm gonna tell you what it is. Now he's not a born bred Detroit person, but that doesn't really matter. Like when you in certain parts of Michigan, because if you got family that's in the city, if you in there enough and they where you at enough, you're gonna be Detroit just by like this. It's just what it is. It's gonna happen, right? I think that he's just like a lot of people that I'm used to interacting with back at home, where it's like, all right, we didn't reach the part where I ran out of jokes. So now let's get to the facts. Like, this is just what it's going to be. I didn't like what he did with the Cat situation because, like, before the game, that's cool. Competitive advantage. You're trying to tell people, yo, or before you knew the truth or whatever, right? I heard he was scared. Shit. Like, that's cool, bro. That's regular. That's basketball shit. That's just, it is what it is. As soon as you find out what happened, there's no problem, I promise you. And this is just my message to just men, period. If you find out that the information you operated on was wrong, it's okay to just apologize and move on, bro. You don't have to keep telling us, oh, well, yeah, what I said still stand because I was moving off the wrong thing. Like, no, you just sound dumber as it goes on. You just sound dumber. And it just seems like you're a very unreasonable person, bro. Like, now I can't take your side in any situation. Of all the footage that's out there, you try to, make excuses for like why you did certain things or like why this was a basketball play and you weren't really attacking this person. It's like, dog, you had a chance to verbally show us that you had some type of sense and you failed in that. I can't support it, bro. I can't fuck with that like at all. Draymond's a clown, bro. Like, and I usually enjoy like the shit he does because I feel like these quotes that we get in these press conferences and like the interviews and stuff like that, like it's funny. He reminds us of a certain era of basketball where dudes was really getting into it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cool, but it's like, bro, you on the line of being a clown. That's not a good spot to be in, bro.
Bang, I'm gonna let you go on this, man, because I feel like you've been wanting to rant on this for a minute.
Man, I said it when Draymond Green went on his show and talked about the Stephen A. Smith thing. I put it on all my social media, podcast. Draymond Green, look, I try not to be that guy on these shows, even though, no, I'm not a Stephen A. Smith or nobody else. I try not to go on these shows and try to be disrespectful to some people. But fuck Draymond Green, fam. Like, it's real disappointing when I see him sometimes because he lacks self-awareness. And he lacks self-awareness to the point where it's just borderline disrespectful. If you feel a way about the LeBron thing, feel a way about the LeBron thing. But some shit, because of what the shit that you've done, should be left unsaid. It is like a man seeing somebody cheat on their mate on TV and being like, man, that's fucked up. nigga, what the fuck was you doing? That's like a crackhead seeing another crackhead and
Hey,
being
you
like,
put
yo, that's
drugs
fucked
down.
up. You put that shit down. It's fucked up. Wow. Like Draymond Green lacks self-awareness. And I think he does it on purpose. Like, that's the other thing, too. I don't think he's crazy. I think he's sly like a fox. He does this shit on purpose for impressions and listen to my podcast. But the other thing is with the Draymond Green thing, Draymond Green is also, to me, one of those dudes that's like, man, buddy ass lame as hell. I ain't even gonna worry about dude. He might do some shit out of pocket that might make you go, oh, like when he stole off of Jordan Poole. But then at the end of the day, you stole off Jordan Poole. If you hate Cat that much, still off Cat in the game. Do Cat like they said Tristan Thompson did your ass. Like, do that shit. For all that shit.
Oh, he did him like that. I know for let's just say I know for a fact he got rocked.
Yeah, this supposed to be Doug Christie and Rick Fox right here. This
hey,
man,
yeah.
If you was in them LA streets, just know I got a call that night. What happened? All right,
well, he got beat up in the hookah lounge by Tristan Thompson.
Yeah, he got rocked. LeBron and them had to break it up.
So yeah, it's like, dude, if you not gonna do the Cat like you did to Jordan Poole, man, shut the fuck up. But that shit was so much pop calling the kettle black. You getting up here talking about how it was disrespectful, and then what he might say next episode. Well, I'm talking about a father. Nah, nigga, it's the same shit. It's in the same goddamn bucket. You saying Stephen A. Smith was wrong for what he doing and shit, but your motherfucking ass was wrong for what the shit you did. Don't get on your podcast saying no dumb shit when you know you be about the dumb shit too. Don't be that. And he always that shit. And I was so much of a fan of Draymond Green when he came into the NBA that so much so that I was hoping that the Bulls got him with that pick. And they didn't. And I was pissed at the Bulls. I know.
One of them.
So,
but Paxson decided to get Marcus Teague.
The Marcus Teague. So I was pissed. I wanted Draymond on this team. But the more and more I see and hear from Buddy, the more I'll be like, man, get the fuck up out of it with this shit. You a clown.
Yeah. Go ahead, Dante.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the dangerous sides of the whole new media thing. And I know it's tough for us to kind of co-sign that as fellow independents. But when you have these athletes who are just given these platforms and they feel like, they're entitled to say whatever the fuck they want to say, you get moments like this, for as much as Draymond does media, he's still not quote unquote media trained. So when he goes and says, I'm standing on what I said, and it's like, no, bro, this is the perfect time for you to retract what you said, because that man was going through something serious and you being a goofy out here. But I mean, that's Draymond. Yeah, that's who he's always been. He picks his spots wisely. And like with guys like that, a lot of times it comes off as, oh, he's just your typical everyday alpha male. It's like, no, bro, that alpha male bullshit y'all be talking about, a lot of niggas just be loud and wrong, bro. Like we got to stop the bullshit, because that's just not reality. And Draymond is a prime example of that. Like this was the moment where you were clearly wrong. People told you were wrong, and you doubled down on it. So it's like, this shit is silly. And these, a lot of people are saying like, he's slowly but surely, like he's going to have to stay independent, because he's not like a Charles or a Shaq where, you can joke around and keep it going. He takes it personal. So if he doesn't change that, he may shoot himself in the foot before he really gets a chance to launch his, post-career, his post-basketball career. So it's clown shit. I'm disappointed, but I ain't surprised. The niggas from Saginaw at the end of the day. And, that's just what they do.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing too. Like, no, that's real shit. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're not from this, but you know enough people that's from this to where, you know what I'm saying. But again, like with like Dante saying, like usually a lot of people who are like, hang their hat on like not having a filter or whatever. It's like they're some of the most insecure people, and they don't know how to like filter this shit out, because like they're just trying to say the worst thing they can say to you before you can say it to them, and like they just think that if they just lean on being loud and wrong, the louder they get, and even if they're wrong, even more wrong, you just gonna bow out at some point. So they look like they won the battle or they won the fight or whatever. And it's like with Draymond, bro, you got a lot of people that's willing to spare you and give you grace and take the high road, but you don't see it that way. You think that you're suckering all these people out, and it's like, yo, like they scared of me. No, bro, These are people who have learned how to deal with their emotions, and they know how to, like, you know what? I'm not gonna give him the moment that he want right now. It's cool. So you get to go back to where you go, where you come from, or whatever you're doing, and call these people soft. Now, if somebody crashes out, knock you out on national TV, we're gonna call that person stupid. What Jay-Z said, you know what I'm saying? If I shoot you, I'm brainless. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's gonna be somebody that's gonna feel like that, that's reading social media comments, that feels the way that we feel, and say, you know what? I'm gonna be the one to take one for the team. I'm gonna knock him out. I don't care what happened after this. It is what it is. And then when it happens, we're gonna call that person stupid, and we're gonna say violence has no place in the sport. When we watching Draymond do all this clown and this sucker shit, like, come on, dog.
Buddy from Detroit.
Yeah, exactly.
Isaiah Stewart.
Exactly.
And here's the thing, too, man. Two things that bother me, and then we'll move on. Like, I think what you said, Maury, like, he be doubling down and things like that, but he be the first nigga to get mad when Chuck and Shaq do that. First niggas get mad when Chuck and Shaq, they old heads and da-da-da-da-da-da. And nobody, and I think kind of like what B-Dot said in the chat, Draymond move like ain't nobody gonna check him. No, somebody check that boy. He ain't gonna be saying what he's saying. And then even with the podcast, man, he got BD on there to make it look more respectable. And BD, my man, like, shout out to BD.
Shout out to BD, yeah.
Shout out to BD. I can actually say this. I've made money with Baron Davis.
Me too. And not only have I made money with Baron Davis, I met Baron Davis in real life, and he's a real
nigga.
He's a real person. He's a real guy, and he's somebody that's there for something. So shout out to BD always.
BD always looks out for independent creatives. A lot
always.
of fun fact that I'm not gonna hold you trailer for the first ever season was shot at BD studio. A lot of people don't know that. The entire show was actually gonna be shot up at BD studio, but some things happened. But shout out to BD, real nigga. But it's like he put BD on there, like, oh, try to make it more respectable, so niggas don't shoot at me all the time.
Yeah,
and that's the issue I got, man. When we said Draymond, an angsty anime nigga, another life, he just happened to be 6'9" in this one. Yeah, that's a good point. Now, moving on to other Michigan stuff, but particularly your hometown, Maury, the Detroit Pistons, man, the Pistons.
Yes.
Looking great out here. Kate Cunningham, Jalen Duren. You got JB Bickerstaff and putting together a good team. Malik Beasley is leading the NBA in 3-point percentage. Right now, they're the 39-31, but they're only a half game out of the fifth seed behind Milwaukee, and only a game and a half behind Indiana for home court, which would be crazy for them, man. I just love watching this team play. And for somebody who, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a casual NBA watcher, but when Shaq was on there talking about he don't know, oh, nobody watched Detroit Pistons. I'm like, no, nigga, a lot of niggas watch Pistons.
He said he liked the job that Chauncey is doing in Detroit.
That Chauncey Billups.
Like, that's number one.
It's dumb, bro.
Yeah.
And then Shaq did what Draymond did. Oh, nobody watched Pistons when Candace called him out.
Come on now.
Pistons? Like, come on, dog. But I think that if I'm a team, like, say, the New York Knicks, I wouldn't want to see these niggas in the first round.
Hell, you better not.
I don't want to, like, the Knicks right now, and I love Tibbs. I got a love-hate relationship with Tibbs. Outside of Phil Jackson, he's my favorite Bulls coach. Obviously, we ain't got that many to pick from. But I've been telling Knicks fans for years, eventually it's going to all crumble because of how Tibbs hoops. Now, I'm not going to blame Jalen Brunson's injury on Tibbs, but you see you see Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart arguing Tibbs about minutes. And now they're just not playing good. They got steamrolled by Shaw last night. LaMelo had a great game. They lost 6 of their last 9. I don't expect much from this team. I think they'll make to the second round and lose, but if they play Detroit in the first round, I'm not saying I picked Detroit.
That won't be good.
I'll probably still pick the Knicks.
Yeah, it won't be good. You don't
want to face them.
You don't want to see Cade Cunningham. Not right now.
You don't want them kids coming into MSG, stealing wood, and you go to a crowd that's not had playoff basketball since the Obama administration.
Yeah, no, facts. Yeah, and you know, city. You look at the Lions, like the success that the Lions had. That city is going like all the way up. Like that's my hometown. I love Detroit, dog. Like, you know, just because I'm not a fan of the teams, like I'm always happy when those teams are doing good because it's good for the city. It shines a new light on the city. It reflects well on the city. Cade Cunningham, I think, is the star that Detroit deserves because he embodies what the city represents. He stay down till you come up. We ain't gonna fake it till we make it. We're gonna let you know, hey, this is what it is right now. We on the come up. Yeah, we losing this shit, but look at me. And now this year, those great performances are actually translating into wins and success. He's hitting game winners. He's leading that team. You can see that he's somebody who's worth building around. He embodies the city. Like, I'm getting a Cade Cunningham jersey, bro. Like, I'm going to get a Cade Cunningham jersey. Like, he represents everything that's good with Detroit basketball, bro. Like, that's the easiest way I can put it. Like, real shit.
He embraces the city, bro. He wore buffs on draft night.
He embraces the grind, bro. That's all the city want. The city, win, lose, or draw, the city will support you if you show the city that, like, look, dog, I'm here for this. Whether I win or lose, it is what it is. Because there's somebody in every hood in Detroit, and I'm pretty sure everywhere, but like every hood in Detroit, it's somebody that's going out there trying, bro. They doing their best, they doing this, and we can respect that. Whatever the results are, we can live with that. But if you ain't trying and we look like, you look like you out there playing around, it's different. But Cade is really like that, bro. Not only is he talented, but he got the right mindset. So I think it's finally starting to translate into wins for them, and that shit is great to watch.
It's fun to watch, and I always call Detroit my third home.
Yeah,
I've been there a lot. My auntie live out there.
Yeah.
But it's just that they love their sports out there, and I think it's a very underrated sports city. They love the Pistons, and I want to see what playoff basketball is like in that new arena. We know what it was like at the Palace. But I think this is going to be different because it's downtown Detroit.
It's right in the city.
It's right in the city. It
used to be Auburn Hills. So that's a different crowd.
Niggas don't know Auburn Hills like an hour and a half away from Detroit.
Auburn Hills is a different drive outside the city. That's a different fan base, a different community. You downtown Detroit. Listen, man.
Downtown Detroit.
Downtown Detroit, dog.
Gonna be a
lot of
couple
exits away from where I used to live. And I'm not going to say a lot, but just listen. You in downtown Detroit.
And I gotta give downtown Detroit credit. It has gotten so much better.
It's beautiful.
Last like 2-3 years, nigga. That's bars over there, nigga. It's great.
OCP, nigga. Yeah, OCP got that shit. OCP really finally got it.
Like, it looks really nice, bro. And one thing I wish Chicago had, but they don't, maybe because geography. I love that they got all the stadiums in the same area.
It's right there.
Ford Field right here. You got Little Caesars right here.
Joe Louis.
America. You got Joe Louis. They all in the same area.
Yep. It's beautiful.
And I think that's going to be amazing. And if I'm the Knicks, even if I'm the Pacers, I don't want to see these niggas.
No, you don't want to come there, bro. You don't want to come. You don't want to have to come to Detroit. To Detroit. We ain't talking about to play Detroit. To Detroit. You have to come to Detroit, bro. It's different. It's different.
Yeah. They're going to do the ice cam, and all them niggas got better ice than actual
they're doing
rappers.
This, and you like, oh, shit.
Yeah, man. But, Dante, I want your thought on the Pistons. What do you think, what do you think can they accomplish this year? Do you think they can upset one of the bigger seeds?
I think they can. I think when you have a team that plays together the way that they do play together, that's going to always work to their benefit. So, even with Cade being, quote unquote, the star of that team, he's a very unselfish guy. Like, I hesitate to call people a walking triple double, but it seems like every time I turn on the Pistons game, by the end of the first, Cade has 8.6 rebounds and 5 assists. Like, every fucking time you turn the Pistons on, bro, like, he really does a lot. And so, the Thompson twin, they have Amir, correct? I believe Amir is one of the
Amir.
I thought Amin is the one that's on the Rockets.
I think Amin is the one on the Rockets.
Yeah.
So they got Amir, but he's nice, like a quality glue guy, bro. We talked about Buddy, who likes to fight a lot, Isaiah Stewart, but he fits the personality of that team. That Detroit basketball. Bringing that back, and we talk about how every team likes to play the same. The Detroit Pistons don't play like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? They have their games where they're gonna sit there and grind you down. They're not gonna sit there and jack up. Shoot 40, 50 threes. That's not the game they play. It can get real old school at times up there. So I think that's a team that can really take one of those high octane teams, and if you can get them to play your style of basketball, they're gonna be in for a tough night. So I think this is a team that could definitely knock some people off in the first round. I'm not gonna say deep, Eastern Conference Finals run, but they're gonna be very entertaining and they're gonna make it tough for whoever they have to play.
Yeah, I just think that Boston and Cleveland on another planet. So yeah, I don't see them in the East Conference Finals, but any of mid-tier teams, man, I wouldn't want to see them niggas. Bang, anything on the Pistons before we move on to our final two?
I know I said that nobody gives a damn about the Detroit Lions, but the Detroit Lions. But I've also said that I'm a low-key Pistons fan. Even during the Bulls run, I was a low-key Pistons fan. I think that the Pistons is the heart and soul of Detroit.
Is that because Isaiah Lord Thomas?
That's part of the reason.
Okay.
And Mark Aguirre.
Can't forget Chicago legend.
Hey, man. Hey, that's part of the reason. But no, man, it's like when LA, Boston, Detroit, and Chicago are all winning, the league is better for it. And this is one of those situations. I think that the league is better when a team like Detroit is winning. And I just wish that like people like Cade Cunningham will celebrate it more. Right? I think it's coming, but it'd be great to see him on national TV a lot more. But that goes into the way I feel about the NBA anyway when it comes to their TV.
And Mark Aguirre had one of my favorite documentary quotes ever in the Bad Boys documentary when they were talking about the trade with Adrian Dantley. And that nigga said, player to player, no competition. That nigga was dead serious. But just speaking on the Bucks, and I'm just gonna say this and we'll move on to our last topic. I think these niggas on the verge of rebuild. Now let me explain why I say that.
Man. You being nice too.
This is gonna implode. And very bad. Like I've been trying to shoot the Bucks a lot of bail because of Giannis and because of Dame. And we talked about this on summer sessions. I don't believe my boy Dame is gonna be remembered fondly, unfortunately. I think we're gonna look at Dame like Adrian Dantley, bro.
Dame has legit had one of the worst post-divorce careers I've seen in my fucking life, boy. Like that man, go get your wife back, Dame. Go get your wife back, bro.
Yeah,
his shit has been in shambles since he got divorced.
Literally and figuratively, yes, Dante, yes, 100%, nigga. One man, goddamn boy. Hey,
ever since he started messing with Glorilla, my nigga, it's been a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, hold on. Let's not blame this. No. Oh no, I will not stand for the slander of this Memphis queen. Scott, don't do it. We will not put this on the. Nah, we ain't
I love
doing
Big
that,
Glow.
We ain't doing it. I'm gonna tell you what it is. I'm gonna tell you what it is with Dame, bro. He left Portland, right? The same thing that we talking about. Like Paul George should have stayed in Indiana. Could have been the greatest pacer ever, boy. It could have been no debate about it, whatever. He left Portland. We understood because we wanted Dame to leave Portland maybe 5 years prior to when he left, right? We've been wanting him to leave. Go do something else. Run from that grind you keep accusing everybody else of running from. It's okay, Dame. He just left too late. He left too late, bro. Like, if you're going to leave the marriage, and I mean with your wife and with Portland, if you're going to leave the marriage, leave when they ain't leaving you on red, bro. Leave when they respond in 22 seconds. You know what I'm saying? Don't leave when it's over with, dog. When your knees is bad. You remember when Gina left out and Martin did the dancing? The knees, it's over with, dog. Like it's over with, bro. Like
here's my theory on that, bro. Yeah, you put it right in the comments. He thought he was going to South Beach.
Yeah,
he thought
that's what he wanted.
Be out here doing his thing, and they sent that nigga to Siberia.
Like, bro, you thought it was. Oh, you thought you ran from the grind. You thought you ran from the grind. You ran to a different grind. Like
he ran to a city where GDs moved to get their life together.
You ran from a job. I'm gonna tell you what he did. He ran from a job that has 12-hour shifts to a job that has 11-hour shifts with no lunch break though.
With no lunch
break. So
you're
still getting smoked. You still doing the same amount of it's still up for you. They didn't get you because it was gonna be a cakewalk. They got you because you're Dame and they want you to do Dame things. It's just over with for you.
And hear me. I'm gonna close it with this. We're gonna go to our last topic. We're gonna wrap this up. Milwaukee Bucks, look me in the eye when I say this. Hear me and hear me clearly. that Shams alert, like around NBA draft time, where it says Milwaukee Bucks superstar Giannis Antetokounmpo is requested to trade, is gonna feel like when the second tower went down. So I hope you're ready, because it is coming. I'm telling you, when these niggas lose in the first round to Indiana again, or the Pistons, y'all think Giannis is the cool foreigner now? He gonna like, get me out of here.
It's over with. It's over with, bro.
And if you're the Bulls, and I know I'm asked for something that's probably not gonna happen. Trade
Don't you
everybody.
fucking dare. Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
Hey,
If somebody trying to kill my
Buzelis.
Chicago White Sox optimism, don't you dare. It's the same owner.
Buzelis untouchable.
Don't do it.
I don't care what happened.
Hey,
I don't care if they be trying to get Jokic. Buzelis
at least the Bulls ain't set the record for the most losses in NBA history. Let me cook. Trade everybody but Buzelis.
There we go.
That's all I'm saying.
I can get with that.
You know what I'm saying? But that nigga is out of there. But last topic, man. And I really want really everybody feeling this, but I want to go to Maury first, man. As a father, we know the Bronny James, LeBron thing that with Stephen A. We ain't got to get too much into that again. But I thought it was really interesting. There was an article that came out in the Athletic 2 days ago where Bronny had a piece. And I read it, and it was really interesting because it kind of reminded me that he's still a kid.
Yeah.
And then when he agreed, I think it was Joe Vardon did the interview. And he said he was going to do it at first. Then he wanted to see who exactly he was going to be talking to. Now, this person covered him when he was at Sierra Canyon and things like that. And he didn't know his name, but when he saw him, he lit up. And he was just like, look, people think that I'm like a robot. He said, I got feelings too, which is what I wanted to hear from him. And so you read that article and you get his side of everything that's been going on, the work that he's been putting in, and then you see how he played last night in the game. Even though, nobody played, Bron didn't play, Luka didn't play, Rui, everybody, Austin Reeves, nobody played. But he played starting minutes. He played 30 minutes, 17 points, like 6 assists, 5 rebounds. I thought he looked solid. Now, my question to you is, forget LeBron in this equation.
Right.
How do you feel about Bronny, how everything's been coming to him, and the performance he had last night, and what his future can be in the NBA, even when LeBron retires? Because to me, that's the question. I really hope the Lakers don't discard him when LeBron decides to call quits.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I think that with Bronny, like, you're in I don't want to say a tough situation, because it's like that's probably the wrong word to use. He probably agreed that like his situation isn't tough. I think that it's uncharted territories in the sense that like your dad is like considered the GOAT. He's currently playing at a level that we've never seen any other player sustain for this long. And now you're in the fold, and now people are talking about you. And it's disingenuous when people are like, he's an NBA player. He's an NBA player. I can name a list of NBA players that y'all don't talk about ever. When the last time y'all had a segment on insert these 19 or 20 or 50 or 70 players that y'all don't talk about, right? And we understand, like, yeah, he's an NBA player, but y'all can't keep relying on that shit and just saying, like, yeah, he's an NBA player, we're going to talk about him. Talk about somebody else. I think that Bronny's been handling this perfectly, because we ain't seen him crash out on social media. We ain't seen him doing nothing crazy. You know what I'm saying? And he is a grown man, like we talk about all the time. So he's his own man. LeBron can only tell him so many things to where he can just go off on his own and say, yo, I'm going to tweet what I want. I'm going to say what I want. I'm a grown man.
Go where I want.
It is what it is. Yeah, I'm going to go where I want. I'm going to do whatever. I think that he's honoring LeBron's legacy in the best way that he can. And it's by keeping his head down and doing the work and being like, you know what, I ain't going to say too much in the media. And he grew up fully in the social media era where everything was social media. Everything is post to this platform, react to this, do this. The most we've seen out of Bronny is him telling some dude his chain was fake. And that shit was beautiful, because we like, yeah, that chain fake as fuck. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he's doing things the right way. He's doing things the way that we would want to see a superstar, celebrity, whoever, kid handle the situation. So what he can be in the NBA, I think, is a very, very solid, like, rotational player, somebody who like you need to have on your team. Like every offseason, if he just signed a 2-year deal, when his deal is up, he's being heavily courted. This is a guy we need on our team. I think that he can be that. I'm not saying he's his potential right now is looking like he can be the greatest ever, but I mean, like, come on, that doesn't happen all the time. Like, I'm not gonna put that on him, but I do think he can be a solid NBA player. And I think that if the Lakers truly value what LeBron brought to the team and the franchise, and they really look at the talent for what it is, I think that they'll probably stick around with him, through it all, like, and not just drop him just because LeBron is gone. If his production drops and you can't use him, then I mean, all right, cool. But I think he can be good in the NBA. I think he can be solid in the NBA.
Bang, Dante, anything? Did y'all see the article? Was anything that stood out to y'all? Or if not, we can wrap this up.
I haven't gotten a chance. Go ahead.
I'm gonna be quick. I just want to say that my Bronny James' Josh Hart agenda is still alive and well. Let him keep developing, and give me 2 years. I will be correct on that one. But go ahead, Bang.
I'm with that.
Look, man. Look, Tony Dell scored 50 points. I'm not about to pop bottles in celebration because this nigga scored 17. Like, I'm not. This motherfucker could be Keith Bogans.
I don't want to do that to him.
Makes sense.
P-Dot just said he could be Avery Bradley. Listen,
he's the 55th pick in the draft. He could be Michael Redd, who was a low second round pick.
Hey, he said, can he be Flip Murray?
What's the nigga from the 76ers with the crooked headband? He could be
Tony Roten.
He could be Buddy.
Hey man, he could be Flip Murray. He could be Michael Redd. He could be Avery Bradley. That motherfucker could be Keith Bogans. He is the 55th pick. Like, let's stop popping the bottles. Let's stop doing this shit because this nigga stop doing this shit because this nigga scored 17. And here's the thing. I'll say this real quick. To me, it does us a disservice. It does the media, and it does him a disservice that we popping bottles because this nigga scored 17. You know why, Scott? You said this shit a couple of episodes ago because y'all treating this nigga like the slow kid that they let get some run in the varsity game.
They treat him like a Make-A-Wish kid.
I really hate when they do that too.
I hate when they do that shit, fam.
Yeah.
Like, I
block the shit out that layup.
Yeah.
Man, I hate when they do that shit because it makes us, to me, it confirms that people don't believe in this nigga. So when he do some good shit, it's like, oh, he's like the bad kid that graduated from high school. You ain't shit, but hey, yo, you graduated. Congratulations.
Yeah, it kind of make you damn near default to hating. Where you like, come on, man. Like, that shit wasn't that good.
I'm gonna tell you what made me want to default to hating today, nigga. I'm scrolling Twitter. I seen a nigga post a meme that said, "Hey, you heard that Bronny James had the same amount of points Steph Curry had last night?" I'm like, "Yo, we just gonna completely forget the fact that Steph Curry broke his behind? Like, what are we doing?"
Right.
Like, let's work.
Right,
let him work. And let's make him consistent.
I'm not even gonna read this. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
When he becomes a consistent NBA player, when it's consistent, then all right, that's cool. Yeah. But niggas out here really think he's gonna be Austin Reeves next season.
No.
Josh Hart.
And maybe he's not gonna be Josh Hart. And like this is the thing. Maybe I'm looking too much into it, but I don't know. He made one hook shot, and it's like they panned to the Lakers bench, and LeBron got up and did this. Nobody on the bench moved, and they saw LeBron get up. Niggas was like, "Oh yeah." I don't want to get cussed out by a big homie. I'm like,
like let's make sure this shit is consistent enough so we can celebrate this dude. Don't let him score 17 and then next game, oh nigga, you scored 17, huh? Let me put the clamps on your ass. And then next thing you know.
Also, I gotta say this. I saw on and then we're gonna wrap it up with this. I know Mario got to get up out of it. I saw on Gil's Arena. Shout out to Lexi Brown. Lexi's a cool girl. I actually met her. We had a
shout out to Lexi.
Lexi is friend of HMB Media, so nothing bad against Lexi. I got to meet her last year. She's a cool person. But Lexi said, "What's the difference between Shedeur Sanders and Bronny James?" I'm like, 30 to 40 grand, cocksucker beat it. That's the difference between Shedeur and Bronny James. What are we talking about?
Only one of them about to be a giant.
Right. Only one of them is getting an interview, but like 30 minutes into the draft. Like that's a difference between them. JJ Redick looked like he was trying to find the right things to say in that press conference. Yeah. That nigga didn't even look up. He's like, well, I think he could be a good shooter. I'm like,
Hey, what's that nigga name? What's that nigga name that spent this whole career in the G League, but he got with the Lakers and he like dropped like
Oh, yeah,
what are you talking about?
Andre Duncan or some shit.
It was Andre something. I'm gonna look it up right now.
That's how y'all treating Bronny, fam. Like,
Andre
that's
Ingram.
how y'all treating.
Andre Ingram.
Yeah, Andre Ingram.
Yeah,
by the
stop
way-
treating that nigga like Andre Ingram.
Stop saying somebody put, oh, he's dominating G League. No, he's not dominating. Let's stop with the dominating part. He's not dominating nothing. All right. He's not doing none of that. So enough. So like I just hope, like I said when he got drafted, I hope there's a plan. But let's be very clear about this. I don't think his key card in El Segundo is gonna work the minute LeBron put up his I love basketball like Kobe did. That's truly what I think. So we'll see, man. But that is all we got for y'all. Yeah, if you're going 2K
Most
and boost all that
inspirational
nigga stats up,
nigga, most inspirational player, nigga. That's what that nigga.
they gonna give him the DeMar Hamlin Award.
They gonna give him the DeMar Hamlin Award, nigga. Most inspirational.
DeMar Hamlin got that one pick. Niggas act like niggas ain't never intercepted a ball in NFL history.
Yeah,
before.
man. Yeah, that's nasty. That's nasty.
But
I'm not gonna say that. Go ahead and close us out.
Yeah. I ain't gonna say what I want to say.
Mari, let them know where they can follow you up, man.
Yeah, man. Like I said, on Twitter, I'm never calling it that other thing. Mariano on Twitter at 2Ns2Os. Weather changes, so maybe we could talk. Maybe me and y'all could talk. Instagram at Mariano Bibbins. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here, man.
Definitely, man. Y'all know where to follow me at Barbchair Scott on all social media platforms. I'm about to drink a lot of tea for the next day because I can't really talk right now. But all right, Dante, you wild. But
that's why I didn't say it, bro. Like,
we was all thinking it.
We really was. You can follow Bang at JR Bang on all social media platforms. Follow Dante at Octoberzonte on Twitter. Follow H&B Media, H&B Media TV on Twitter, and H&B Media on Instagram. Follow the Barber's Chair at Barber's Chair Co. on all social media platforms. And follow I'm Not Gonna Hold You's new Instagram page and at INGHY show. Subscribe to the Patreon, patreon.com/Barber's Chair Network. Subscribe to the $10 holler, and you will get 25% off your first order at the Barber's Chair Network shop. That is bcnetshop.com. Hope y'all enjoyed. We thank y'all for joining us. Shout out to the homie Nicholas Moreano for joining us in hour 1. We will holler at y'all on Monday. We up out of here.